Chapter 1. The Billionfold Critical Hit Recovery System in the Realm of the Abyss. Countless ferocious beasts roam. Yinan traverses to the Blue Star, acquiring the billionfold critical hit recovery system. 10-fold, 20-fold, 30-fold critical hits await. In city, within the He Yuan community, Yinan gazes out the window, his expression one of desolation. A martial artist, beset by ferocious beasts, he has dwelled in this world for over a year. Though he now lives as an orphan, his parents, both martial artists in their lifetime, bequeathed him some inheritance, allowing him to maintain a modest existence. Yet, this world is far from Earth. It is known as Blue Star, a land rife with numerous abysses. 3 centuries ago, Blue Star was in an era of firearms. But the emergence of ferocious beasts rendered bullets and shells utterly ineffective against them. While nuclear weapons could obliterate these creatures, some, endowed with remarkable resilience, mutated under radiation, growing even more formidable. Over the span of 300 years, Blue Star transitioned from an age of hot weapons to one dominated by cold arms. In the struggle against these beasts, humanity discovered a peculiar gas known as Qi. Those who absorbed Qi could transform into extraordinary beings, capable of tearing ferocious beasts apart, their strength, speed, and defense vastly surpassing those of ordinary humans. To absorb Qi, one must possess the talent for cultivation. On Blue Star, even 6-year-old children can be tested for their cultivation aptitude. Those identified as possessing such talent are sent to martial arts schools across Blue Star for training. As a plethora of powerful martial artists emerged, humanity finally managed to repel the onslaught of ferocious beasts, forcing many back into the abysses. These formidable martial artists chose to enter the abysses, guarding the passageways to prevent the beasts from easily ascending to the surface of Blue Star. However, the number of unknown abysses is vast, and many of these passageways remain unguarded by martial artists, allowing numerous beasts to persist on the surface. Why do I lack cultivation talent? Yinan sighed. And city is not a base city. Although martial artists and military forces exist, their numbers are limited. If ferocious beasts were to appear, they would be unable to withstand the onslaught. Upon his arrival, he had hoped to acquire a golden finger, to become a mighty martial artist, suppressing the land and exterminating the beasts. Yet reality is often cruel. Not only does he lack the prowess of a powerful martial artist, he doesn't even possess the talent for cultivation. Had he been a native of Blue Star, it might have been different, but he is a traveler from another realm. Should not a traveler possess a golden finger? This question has plagued Yinan's thoughts countless times. Ding. Binding of the billionfold critical hit recovery system initiated. Yinan was taken aback. Ding. Binding of the billionfold critical hit recovery system completed. A system. Yinan stood in a daze. He was acutely aware that he was not merely imagining things. Had his golden finger finally arrived? Ding. 10-fold critical hit recovery activated. Items that are recovered will receive a 10-fold critical hit reward, and the rewards obtained from recovery cannot be recycled again. The system's voice echoed once more in Yinan's mind. Recycling, a critical hit? Suddenly, a set of data appeared on his retina. Item, common wooden bed. Recyclable. 10-fold critical hit. Let's give it a try. Yinan chose to recycle, eagerly anticipating the outcome. Ding. Recycling successful. You have received 0 recycling rewards. Oh. Yinan realized he had lost more than he gained. After the successful recycling, the bed had vanished. Was it necessary to have a more valuable item to obtain recycling rewards? Indeed, he possessed something of worth. After his parents perished, they left him not only with a substantial amount of alliance coins, but also a feather from a ferocious beast. He opened the cabinet in his room, revealing a dark feather that captivated his sight. The black plume exuded an elusive aura, causing Yinan's body to involuntarily shudder. The black-crested eagle, a formidable beast equivalent to an 8th-tier elite warrior, was massive and had slaughtered numerous humans. Item, black-crested eagle feather. Recyclable. 10-fold critical hit. Note, the first recycling of a useful item will grant additional rewards. Yinan opted for recycling once more. Ding. Recycling successful. You have obtained intermediate cultivation talent. 10 yuan stones can be refined into vital energy. The amount of vital energy obtained depends on the level of cultivation talent. 2 cultivation talent stones, used for upgrading cultivation talent. 2 ability talent stones, used for upgrading ability talents. Low-level strength talent, 3-fold amplification. Gasping. Yinan drew in a sharp breath. The rewards from the recycling were astonishing. An intermediate cultivation talent meant he could become a warrior. Furthermore, the low-level strength talent with a 3-fold amplification effect was a remarkable boon. Alongside the yuan stones, cultivation talent stones, and ability talent stones, though he had never heard of such items before, their descriptions elucidated their significance. In Blue Star, cultivation talents are categorized into levels: weak, subpar, low, intermediate, high, top tier, super, ultimate, and divine. The majority of warriors in Blue Star possess low or intermediate cultivation talents. Only those with high cultivation talents are deemed geniuses. The level of cultivation talent not only signifies the speed of vital energy absorption, but also the ability to refine it. Those with weak cultivation talents can absorb vital energy, but their ability to refine it remains dismally inadequate, rendering it impossible for them to ever transcend into elite warriors. Talents are divided into two categories: cultivation talents and ability talents, with strength talent being a type of ability talent that is awakened postnatally. Unlike cultivation talents, ability talents are classified into only 3 levels: low, intermediate, and high. Yinan integrated the intermediate cultivation talent, 10 yuan stones, and low-level strength talent into his body. He had now become a first-tier warrior. As Yinan gazed at his slightly trembling hands, he pondered whether he had truly become a martial artist. The classification of human martial artists had become distinctly defined: martial artist, elite martial artist, grand martial artist, master, grandmaster, battle general, battle king, primordial battle venerable, primordial battle saint, primordial battle emperor, and primordial battle god. Each tier was further divided into 9 ranks. If my cultivation talent were even greater, then the 10 essence stones would surely propel me to a higher realm, Yinan murmured. The martial artist realm served as the initial stage, and as one ascended, the required essence values multiplied. After fusing the 10 essence stones, there was no need to spend time refining them. Instead, they were directly transformed into the corresponding essence value based on one's cultivation aptitude. Moreover, this was merely a feather from the black crown eagle. What if it were the complete creature? The system's name boasted of a 1,000,000,000-fold critical strike. What rewards might one receive with a 100-fold, 1,000-fold, or even a 1,000,000,000-fold critical strike? Yinan could only marvel at how astonishing this system was. He subsequently utilized 2 cultivation talent stones and 2 ability talent stones. However, his intermediate cultivation talent and low-tier power talent did not improve as a result. It was evident that to elevate his cultivation and ability talents, a vast quantity of talent stones was required. Without further thought, Yinan exited his room and made his way to the He Yuan community to assess his battle prowess. He Yuan community was a residence for the families of martial artists, and since Yinan's parents had perished on the battlefield, he not only had the privilege of residing there, but also received a substantial monthly allowance. Arriving at a battle power detection device, he struck it with force. Bang! 1,230. The device displayed a number, revealing his current battle power. What if I employed the low-tier power talent for a 3-fold enhancement? Bang! 1 fold. 2,460. 2 folds. 3,690. 3 folds. 4,920. With the 3-fold power augmentation, Yinan's battle power soared to 4,920. A battle power of 4,920 was already that of a 4th-tier martial artist. Is this truly the strength I possess? Yinan was exhilarated. However, once he calmed down, Yinan recognized that despite his 4,920 battle power, he did not feel confident in overcoming a 4th-tier martial artist. After all, in terms of speed and mental reflexes, he still remained a 1st-tier martial artist. In Chapter 2, the city of Incheng faced a dire situation with the emergence of ferocious beasts. Yinan discovered an attribute panel within his mind and opened it to reveal his details. Name: Yinan. Age: 22 years. System: 1,000,000,000-fold critical strike recovery system, 10-fold critical strike. Cultivation talent: intermediate. Ability talent: low-tier power talent. Realm: 1st-tier martial artist. Yinan was quite satisfied with the data displayed on the attribute panel. Incheng was merely a small city, with the strongest martial artists not exceeding the 6th tier. Yinan, what are you doing here? A sudden voice pierced the air beside him. Turning around, Yinan beheld a boy and a girl of similar age. They were both residents of the Heiyuan community, acquaintances who exchanged pleasantries but were not particularly familiar. Oh, I'm just assessing my combat power. Yinan replied with a faint smile. Don't you lack any cultivation talent? The boy and girl responded, somewhat taken aback. Just bored, and I have a few matters to attend to. You both carry on. I shall take my leave. All right, they nodded in agreement. Once Yinan departed, the boy and girl exchanged glances. Alas, Yinan is quite pitiful. He has lost his parents and has not detected any cultivation talent. Our parents are still around. Although our cultivation talent is mediocre, at least we have some hope. Indeed, it's evident he yearns to become a martial artist, but without the talent to absorb vital energy. It seems impossible for him to ever achieve that. The boy and girl shook their heads. Let us not dwell on that. Let us check our combat power first. Last month, I reached a power level of 600. I believe it won't be long before I become a true martial artist, they said, approaching the combat power testing device. As they gazed at the numbers on the device, which had yet to refresh, their pupils dilated in disbelief, their expressions reflecting sheer astonishment. as if struck by lightning. 4920. This power level. It must be Yinan's doing, right? He's the only one here, isn't he? But he lacks cultivation talent. The boy and girl were engulfed in shock, grappling with the complexity of their emotions. Unable to comprehend the reality that a genius was so close to them. Had Yinan been pretending all along? The girl's face turned pale. The revelation of a combat power of 4,920 was utterly staggering. Upon returning home, Yinan suddenly recalled something. Oh no, his combat power hadn't reset to 0. He shook his head, resigning himself to the fact that if they found out, so be it. Letting others know of his formidable power wouldn't pose a problem. It would merely attract more factions wishing to recruit him. However, the existence of the system was something he must never reveal. Suddenly, a terrifying roar reverberated through the air, accompanied by the cries of a ferocious beast, causing the windows of the entire Huan community to shatter. And that was not the only roar. A series of continuous roars began to emerge. A beast. Yinan recognized it immediately. It was the roar of a ferocious creature. Anqing was not large. With a population of only 200,000, and all residents heard the chilling cries of the beast. Boom. Soon after, violent explosions erupted across Anqing, accompanied by the anguished screams of humanity. Had the ferocious beasts truly arrived? Yinan felt a mixture of fear and excitement. It was the first time a ferocious beast had appeared in its city since his crossing into Blue Star. After calming his emotions, he considered that perhaps this was an opportunity for him. By continuously slaying these beasts and collecting their remains, he could potentially transform into a powerful warrior in a remarkably short period. With determination, he stepped out of the Huan community, drawn towards the cacophony of explosions, roars, and anguished cries. Moments later, a steel-haired boar emerged before him. From the beast compendium, he learned that the steel-haired boar possessed formidable defenses, its body bristling with steel spikes and its teeth exceptionally sharp, classifying it as a first-tier warrior-level beast. The creature was gnawing on the corpse of a soldier, beside which lay a Yuan weapon. As Blue Star transitioned into the era of cold weapons, the military's armament had also evolved into Yuan weapons. These weapons were infinitely sharper than ordinary steel, capable of slicing through the flesh of beasts and effectively killing them. Yinan fixated on the steel-haired boar. Though he lacked combat experience, he was a first-tier warrior with a low-level strength talent, and he reasoned that slaying this first-tier beast should not be insurmountable. Yet, a sense of trepidation lingered, as this was his first encounter with a ferocious beast at such close range, and the aura of the creature was undeniably intimidating. The steel-haired boar noticed him. With a fearsome roar, it charged at him. Die! Yinan disregarded his inexperience. He knew that if he did not defeat this beast, it would be his life at stake. He threw a powerful punch towards the charging steel-haired boar. This punch was enhanced by a threefold amplification of his low-level strength. Bang! The boar collided directly with Yinan's fist. With a horrific cry, the steel-haired boar collapsed, devoid of any life force. Yinan exhaled in relief, grateful for his low-level strength talent. Item, a steel-haired boar. Recoverable. Tenfold critical hit. A set of data appeared in his retina. Without further contemplation, Yinan chose to recover it. Ding. Recovery successful. 20 Yuan stones. 3 cultivation talent stones. 3 supernatural talent stones. Yinan integrated the rewards from the recovery. Second-tier warrior. After fusing the 20 Yuan stones, Yinan advanced from a first-tier warrior to a second-tier warrior. However, his intermediate cultivation talent and low-level strength talent remained unchanged. Oh, and there was also a Yuan weapon. Even the smallest fly is still meat. Yinan recovered several Yuan weapons. Ding. Recovery reward obtained. 1 chi stone. Activated 20-fold critical hit. Well, it mattered little. After all, it was still a reward. Moreover, he had unlocked a 20-fold critical hit. The corpse Yinan cast a glance at the lifeless body of the soldier. He chose not to reclaim it. After all, he was merely an ordinary individual, and emotionally, he found himself incapable of doing so. In the wake of the emergence of the ferocious beasts, the warriors and army of City were the first to confront them, all in a valiant effort to protect their homeland. His parents were also warriors of City, who laid down their lives in the noble pursuit of safeguarding this land. Although he was a transmigrator, his emotional connection to his parents was not profound. However, the shared empathy in the struggle between humanity and the otherworldly races transcended morality. Whether one was virtuous, malevolent, or morally ambiguous, such sentiments were universal. He continued his search for the shadow of the beasts. After this experience, he felt that his mindset would be significantly better when facing the ferocious creatures again. Before long, 3 iron-haired boars came into view, glaring at him with fierce intensity. With a 20-fold critical strike, what rewards awaited him for reclaiming these beasts? Yinan beckoned to the iron-haired boars with a gesture of his fingers, inviting them forth. The boars let out a furious roar and charged at him. Now a second-tier warrior, his strength, speed, and mental acuity had all considerably improved. And with his low-level power talent, he felt no fear in the face of the 3 iron-haired boars. He unleashed a flurry of punches, enhanced by a 3-fold amplification effect, striking fiercely at the boars. One punch was enough to bring them crashing to the ground, blood pooling around them. Item: iron-haired boar. Critical strike, 20-fold. Reclaimable. Yinan made his choice. Ding. Reclaim successful. 100 yuan stones. 19 cultivation talent stones. 19 abilities talent stones. Indeed, the 20-fold critical strike lived up to its name. Yinan integrated the rewards into his body. 3rd-tier warrior. 4th-tier warrior. Filled with determination, he had ascended from an ordinary person to a 4th-tier warrior in less than a day. And city still harbored numerous ferocious beasts, and he was eager to ascend to even greater heights. Without further hesitation, he continued his pursuit of the beasts. Chapter 3. Frenzied Shadow Fist. 30-fold critical strike. Moments later, Yinan encountered several more ferocious beasts. These creatures, known as the Scarlet Iron Cats, fixated their cold, piercing gazes upon him, their steel fangs glinting with a sinister crimson glow. Roar! The Scarlet Iron Cats unleashed a fierce cry and charged toward him. As they were merely 1st-tier warrior-level beasts, they stood no chance against Yinan, now a 4th-tier warrior. With a series of powerful punches, he swiftly dispatched the 3 Scarlet Iron Cats. Ding! Reclaim successful. 120 yuan stones. 25 cultivation talent stones. 25 abilities talent stones. He absorbed the rewards from the reclamation. 5th-tier warrior. It appeared that breaking through had become more challenging. 120 yuan stones had only allowed him to ascend 1 level, Yinan mused. However, the sudden emergence of so many ferocious beasts in an city raises the question of their origin. Could it be that a cavern has appeared? Yinan pondered that if such a cavern truly existed in an city, without formidable warriors to suppress it, the entire city might be doomed. But such thoughts were not his primary concern. For now, his focus was to locate and eliminate as many of these beasts as possible. Suddenly, a chilling scream pierced the air, capturing Yinan's attention. He turned to see dozens of soldiers hastily retreating, pursued by a dozen ferocious beasts. These creatures were not particularly strong, merely 1st-tier warrior-level beasts. With so many beasts in sight, Yinan's gaze sharpened. He had no intention of letting them escape. With his current prowess, a mere dozen beasts posed no threat. Without further hesitation, he stepped forward, positioning himself behind the fleeing soldiers. With a flurry of punches raining down like a torrential downpour, each strike, a product of his 5th-tier warrior status combined with lower-tier strength talent, spelled doom for a beast with every blow. The beasts cried out in agonizing wails, collapsing one after another. What? The soldiers, having retreated several dozen meters, stood in awe, their minds reeling at the scene before them. A true powerhouse, indeed, was among them. The soldiers felt a surge of excitement. In a short span, all the ferocious beasts lay lifeless in a pool of blood. Go fend off the beasts in other areas, Yinan said, casting a sidelong glance at the exhilarated soldiers. He would not allow them to flee, for defending against the beasts was their duty. Yes, esteemed warrior. The soldiers saluted Yinan respectfully before swiftly departing. Items recovered: Steel-haired Pig X2, Shadow Cat X3, Evil High Dog X2, Azure Striped Python X2, Fire Leopard X3. Ding. Recovery successful. 490 Essence Stones, 80 Cultivation Talent Stones, 80 Extraordinary Ability Stones. The basic martial art technique, Frenzied Shadow Fist, can now be perfected. A 30-fold critical strike has been activated. Yinan felt invigorated. The rewards from this recovery were exceptionally bountiful. He integrated the acquired rewards, achieving the status of a 6th-tier warrior and subsequently breaking through to become a 7th-tier warrior. The strongest in city was merely a 6th-tier warrior. Name: Yinan. System: Billionfold Critical Recovery System. Realm: 7th-tier warrior. Cultivation talent: medium. Extraordinary ability talent: low-level strength talent. Martial technique: Frenzied Shadow Fist, perfected. Critical strike: 30-fold. With a 30-fold critical strike, the rewards from future recoveries promised to be exhilarating. Yinan's expression radiated with brilliance. The foundational combat power of a 7th-tier warrior is 7,000. After the 3-fold enhancement from low-level strength, his combat power surged to a terrifying 28,000. However, this is still far from sufficient. He possesses no other extraordinary abilities, such as speed or defensive talents. With the acquisition of the basic martial technique, the Shadow Fist, he has gained the power to eliminate foes from a distance. Although the range is not extensive, it is still commendable. Along the way, the ground is strewn with the corpses of ferocious beasts, warriors, and soldiers, and the air is thick with the scent of blood. Suddenly, a A series of roars emanate from a nearby location. Yi Nanfi hastens towards the source. Before long, 5 colossal ferocious beasts come into view: the azure-scaled wolf, the human-faced spider, the 2-headed shadow leopard, the crimson blood ant, and the black marsh beetle. All of them are 5th-tier warrior-level beasts. The 5 beasts are encircling a middle-aged man. This man, robust and imposing, bears a resolute expression. Despite being surrounded by 5 5th-tier warrior-level beasts, he shows no sign of retreat. It appears that he is prepared to fight to the bitter end. Yi Nan is astonished to discover that he can discern detailed information about both the middle-aged man and the beasts, a fact he initially overlooked. Human, Shi Yunhu. Level, 6th-tier warrior. Training talent, average. Is this the effect of the system? Yi Nan contemplates. Being able to perceive the specifics of his opponent's attributes allows him to better understand the nature of the threat he faces. In city, there is only one 6th-tier warrior, the city lord, Shi Yunhu. Clearly, this middle-aged man is the lord of city. Although a 6th-tier warrior is stronger than these beasts, the combined force of 5 5th-tier warrior-level beasts, without any extraordinary ability enhancements, makes it impossible for Shi Yunhu to contend with them. The warrior is merely at the initial stage of his journey. What formidable techniques could he possibly cultivate? Even if he were to reach mastery, it would take an inordinate amount of time. Unlike Yi Nan, who can achieve mastery directly. In summary, even if Shi Yunhu manages to slay 2 or 3 5th-tier warrior-level beasts in a desperate struggle, he is unlikely to survive. It is a foregone conclusion. Should the 5 5th-tier beasts be captured, it would be quite formidable. He stepped forth from the shadows. 5 ferocious beasts surrounding a single human. Have we humans truly become so diminished? Although the beasts possess limited intelligence, they are certainly not deaf. They all heard Yi Nan's voice. Shi Yunhu, upon seeing Yi Nan emerge from the shadows, is taken aback. He never anticipated the arrival of another person in such a perilous moment. Danger! Quickly leave this place. Shi Yunhu shouts at Yi Nan. It is nothing. One must inevitably face some danger. One cannot remain a sheltered flower forever. Yi Nan responds calmly as he approaches the 5 beasts and Shi Yunhu. Shi Yunhu is stunned. He did not expect Yi Nan to utter such words with such composure in the face of imminent peril. Before Shi Yunhu can ponder further, the 5 5th-tier warrior-level beasts unleash a fierce roar and charge at Yi Nan and Shi Yunhu. Shadow Fist. The shadows of fists surged forth from Yi Nan's hands, striking relentlessly towards the 5 ferocious beasts of the 5th rank. The air was filled with the sound of impact. Bang, bang, bang. The 5 beasts were positioned perilously close to Yi Nan, and before they could react, they were struck by the onslaught of fists, emitting pitiful cries before collapsing lifelessly to the ground. Shi Yunhu, witnessing this spectacle, gasped in shock, his eyes wide with disbelief. How could 5 5th-rank ferocious beasts be so effortlessly dispatched? Was this reality? He stared at Yi Nan, suddenly understanding the calmness with which Yi Nan had spoken. He was indeed a formidable warrior. Thank you for saving me. May I inquire if you are a warrior from the Jiangnan Bay city? Let us not dwell on that. Yi Nan replied, fixing his gaze on Shi Yunhu. You should leave now. Shi Yunhu was taken aback by the aloofness. Such a cold demeanor. Truly, a distinguished warrior. After Shi Yunhu departed, Yi Nan surveyed the lifeless bodies of the 5 5th-rank beasts strewn across the ground. Time to commence the recovery. Chapter 4. Frenzied Recovery. Titan Giant Wolf Items. Azure-scaled wolf, human-faced spider, 2-headed shadow leopard, crimson blood ant, black zephyr beetle. Recoverable. 30-fold critical hit. Yi Nan opted for recovery. Ding. Recovery successful. 2,000 essence stones. 320 cultivation talent stones. 320 extraordinary talent stones. Low-level speed talent. Triple amplification. Activated 40-fold critical hit. The rewards from the recovery filled Yi Nan with exhilaration. With the low-level speed talent, he could now triumph over certain opponents through sheer velocity. He integrated the rewards he had obtained. The 2,000 essence stones merged into his being, and under the influence of his medium cultivation talent, they were refined into vital energy. 8th rank warrior. 9th rank warrior. 1st rank elite warrior. The influx of 2,000 essence stones allowed Yi Nan to ascend to the status of a 1st rank elite warrior. A wave of joy washed over him. Had he truly advanced to elite warrior status so swiftly? Boom. An intense explosion erupted once more. Yi Nan lifted his gaze towards the North District. He hastened in that direction. Anqing was not large, and he was well acquainted with the North District. Upon reaching the North District, a grim sight met Yi Nan's eyes. Numerous corpses littered the streets, which were awash in rivers of blood. Defend. Quickly, defend. A commanding shout reached Yi Nan's ears. Roar, roar, roar. A horde of ferocious beasts charged towards the warriors and soldiers, numbering at least 60. Among them was the city lord, Shi Yunhu. Yinan's gaze fixed upon the swarm of beasts. These creatures represented his recovery rewards. With the low-level speed talent activated, he dashed swiftly into the throng of warriors and soldiers. Bang, bang, bang. Fist after fist was unleashed. Under the amplification of inferior forces, the ferocious beasts were sent flying, crashing heavily to the ground, never to rise again. Do not take action, Yinan instructed the warriors and soldiers. With a resounding thud, another punch landed, penetrating the body of a second-tier warrior-grade beast. Allow me to handle these beasts. With that declaration, Yinan unleashed the Fury Shadow Fist. The shadows of his fists surged forth, striking the horde of beasts with tremendous force, leaving them utterly incapable of resisting the onslaught. The beasts howled in agony. The warriors and soldiers stood in stunned silence, utterly astonished. The ferocious beasts were being treated as though they were mere swine. Wait, how could there be such a formidable warrior in its city? Could it be that the Jiangnan base city had sent reinforcements upon learning of the beast incursions in its city? It was he, the city lord, Shi Yunhu, gazed at Yinan, exhaling a sigh of relief. Upon witnessing Yinan's prowess, he wished to invite him to join him in the northern district. Yet Yinan's aloof demeanor prevented him from making the request. The beasts on the ground were in disarray, having wreaked havoc upon numerous warriors and soldiers in its city, yet now found no refuge. The beasts continued to fall, one after another. As the warriors and soldiers observed in awe, all the beasts were ultimately vanquished. Was this the might of a powerful warrior? What, my lord? City Lord Shi Yunhu stared at the street strewn with the corpses of beasts, yearning to express something to Yinan, yet found himself at a loss for words. The other warriors and soldiers, faced with Yinan, were bewildered and breathless, their hearts racing. This was their first encounter, so close to such a formidable warrior. In the cold weapon era of Blue Star, powerful warriors stood as towering pillars against the ferocious beasts, guarding the caverns and safeguarding humanity. They had sacrificed so much for the safety of their kind. They were the true heroes. Continue searching elsewhere for any remaining beasts. If any are found, Yinan turned to City Lord Shi Yunhu. Notify me. City Lord Shi Yunhu trembled. Yinan remained as distant and unapproachable as he had been upon their first meeting. Perhaps this was the allure of a powerful warrior. High places are cold and lonely. Shi Yunhu led the warriors and soldiers away, continuing their search for the beasts. Ding. Recovery successful. 3,000 elemental stones. 800 cultivation talent stones. 800 extraordinary ability stones. Low-level defensive talents. Activated 50-fold critical strike. Yinan fused the rewards from the recovery and opened his attribute panel. Name, Yinan. Age, 22 years. System, billion-fold critical strike recovery system. Realm, third-tier elite warrior. Cultivation talent, medium. The innate abilities of low-level powers, low-level speed, and low-level defense are evident. The martial technique, Phantom Fist, boasts a 50-fold critical hit rate. As one's realm ascends, the number of elemental stones required for breakthrough increases correspondingly. However, the low-level defensive talent proves to be rather commendable. Meanwhile, the city lord, Shi Yunhu, along with the martial artists and soldiers, continues their search for the ferocious beasts in the northern district. Suddenly, they halt in their tracks. A massive pit reveals itself not far from where they stand, and from this abyss, a ferocious beast surges forth. With a thunderous roar, the beast lands on the ground, causing the earth to tremble beneath it. A chasm has appeared in its city. The city lord, Shi Yunhu, the martial artists, and the soldiers feel their bodies quiver in trepidation. Emerging from the tunnel is a titan wolf, a ferocious beast of elite warrior rank, towering at 3 meters. Its sinewy body stands upright, with crimson eyes and fangs extending over 20 centimeters. Under the moonlight, the titan wolf's fangs glimmer with a chilling light that sends shivers down the spine. Chapter 5. Low-level flame talent. Fortune favors the bold. The city lord, Shi Yunhu, along with the martial artists and soldiers, never anticipated the emergence of a chasm in its city. The chasm world harbors a vast array of ferocious beasts. The titan wolf, an elite warrior-level beast, is beyond their capacity to defeat. We will hold off this titan wolf. You go inform Master Yena. Shi Yunhu instructed a 4th-tier warrior by his side. The Master Yena he referred to is, of course, Yinan. The 4th-tier warrior nodded, fully aware that the situation had reached a critical juncture, rendering his own escape nearly impossible against such a formidable foe. No need to notify me. I have already arrived. Yinan's voice suddenly echoed in the ears of Shi Yunhu and the others. Master Yena. The group erupted in joy. The titan wolf fixed its cold gaze upon the approaching Yinan, instinctively recognizing the strength of this human. Master Yena, this is the titan wolf, an elite warrior-level ferocious beast, Shi Yunhu introduced. I am aware, Yinan replied with a nod. He had encountered the titan wolf in the beast compendium. Afterward, He turned to Shi Yunhu and the assembled martial artists and soldiers. You all should retreat a bit. Quickly, they stepped back, swallowing hard as they realized that the imminent battle between Yi Nan and the Titan Wolf was about to commence. The atmosphere grew palpably tense. Yi Nan fixed his gaze upon the Titan Wolf before him. With a critical hit multiplier of 50, the reward for subduing an elite warrior-level beast is undoubtedly substantial. With a sudden roar, the Titan Wolf lunged fiercely toward Yi Nan. Yi Nan is now a third-tier elite warrior, endowed with numerous extraordinary abilities, effortlessly capable of vanquishing the Titan Giant Wolf. At the very moment the Titan Giant Wolf lunges towards him, he has already raised his fist. With a resounding thud, his fist strikes the oncoming beast. An explosive roar ensues as Yi Nan's fist pierces through the Titan Giant Wolf's body. A gruesome wound appears, oozing dark, viscous blood. A sight both horrifying and captivating. Shi Yunhu, along with the warriors and soldiers, gasps in shock, their hearts churning tumultuously. How could a first-tier elite warrior like the Titan Giant Wolf be dispatched with a single blow from a mere warrior? They understood Yi Nan's prowess, having perceived him as formidable, yet this spectacle profoundly underscored their underestimation of his true strength. Ding. Recovery successful. For 1,500 essence stones, 1,200 cultivation talent stones, 1,200 extraordinary ability stones. Inferior flame talent. Inferior flame technique. Fire dragon technique. Yi Nan's gaze burned with intensity. A 50-fold critical recovery truly is formidable. However, it remains insufficient. After all, it is merely a 50-fold critical hit. The system is capable of billion-fold critical strikes. The cavern may present an opportunity for him. Within its depths lie numerous ferocious beasts. Yet, given his current strength, entering the cavern would be tantamount to courting death. Nonetheless, that is not the most pressing matter. The paramount concern is yet to be addressed. Wait, where has the corpse of the Titan Giant Wolf vanished to? Yi Nan stared in astonishment at Shi Yunhu and the others. Shi Yunhu and his companions, realizing the Titan Giant Wolf's body had indeed disappeared, were utterly astounded, hastily searching the surroundings for the beast's remains. However, the Titan Giant Wolf that had been reclaimed was now nowhere to be seen. Warrior, the disappearance of the Titan Giant Wolf's corpse is indeed peculiar. Yet I believe the most crucial task at hand is to report the emergence of the cavern in City to Jiangnan Bay City, so that the esteemed warriors there can guard the cavern. Otherwise, City will face dire consequences. Yi Nan mused quietly. Is this not fortuitous for me? Shortly thereafter, they reached the periphery of the cavern, and City Lord Shi Yunhu departed under the cover of night, heading towards Jiangnan Bay City. Yi Nan integrated the rewards he had acquired. 4th-tier elite warrior. After assimilating the 4,500 essence stones, he ascended from a 3rd-tier elite warrior to a 4th-tier elite warrior. Though the 4,500 essence stones merely propelled him to the 4th tier, it mattered little. The colossal beasts within the cavern would facilitate his rapid advancement. He opened his palm, conjuring a flame that danced within his grasp. The inferior flame technique, akin to the frenzied shadow fist, required no cultivation, achieving completion instantaneously. All preparations are in place. Now, he awaits entry into the cavern. Jiangnan Bay City, the Extreme Path Alliance. Within the Grand Hall, formidable individuals took their positions. At the throne above, a statuesque middle-aged man listened intently to Shi Yunhu's report, a solemn expression emerging upon his countenance. This middle-aged man was Su Yuan, the leader of the Extreme Path Alliance, a first-rate grandmaster. The Extreme Path Alliance was under the jurisdiction of the City Lord's Mansion, overseeing the martial practitioners of the Jiangnan Bay City. With the appearance of a new type of underground cavern in City, I propose that Master Huangqing lead an expedition to assess the situation therein. Understood, Alliance Leader, replied a Grandmaster, rising to clasp his fists in respect to Su Yuan. Huangqing, a powerful Grandmaster of the Extreme Path Alliance, held the rank of 7th-tier Grandmaster. Accompanied by a group of strong warriors and guided by Shi Yunhu, they set forth towards City. Shi Yunhu chose not to disclose the matters concerning Yi Nan, aware that someone as aloof as Yi Nan preferred to remain inconspicuous. Should he recklessly reveal such information, it might lead to calamities beyond Yi Nan's capacity to bear. Su Yuan, the leader of the Extreme Path Alliance, also departed from the headquarters, making his way to the City Lord's Mansion to relay the significance of this event. 3 days later, Huangqing and his companions arrived at City, reaching the entrance of the underground cavern. The martial practitioners and military forces of City stood at the periphery, fortunate that no ferocious beast had emerged from the cavern during these days. Otherwise, City would have faced an unprecedented catastrophe. As Huangqing surveyed the cavernous passage before him, his expression remained largely unperturbed. Across the entirety of Blue Star, even within the Dragon Kingdom, numerous renowned underground caverns existed, each guarded by powerful warriors. However, many undiscovered or newly emerged caverns also lay in wait. Some caverns possessed immense strength, while others were quite feeble. Let us venture into the cavern. Huang Qing addressed the formidable assembly. The individuals he brought were all great martial artists, totaling more than a dozen. Such a force was indeed formidable anywhere in the Dragon Kingdom. After a series of affirming nods from the great martial artists, they entered the cavern. Yinan observed as they entered the cavern and followed suit. Yet he refrained from joining their ranks, knowing that acting in concert would only serve to unveil his presence. Although perilous, fortune often favored the bold. Chapter 6. Entering the cavern, Blood Demon Sky Wolf Experience Card. Yinan stepped into the cavern. This underground realm was a world unto itself, yet not one belonging to humanity. Upon the discovery of the caverns, humanity initially sought to coexist peacefully with the races inhabiting this subterranean world. However, the ferocious beasts were unwilling, and had it not been for the discovery of vital energy during the struggle against these beasts, humanity would have long since faced extinction. At this moment, Yinan found himself amidst a barren wasteland, devoid of any vegetation. Huang Qing and his dozen or so great martial artists were not far from him. As a grandmaster, Huang Qing's spiritual perception had already detected Yinan's presence. He turned and regarded Yinan with a look of curiosity. "Master Huang Qing, how could that individual dare to enter?" inquired a great martial artist, gazing perplexed at Yinan from a distance. In his view, at an age like Yinan's, encountering a dark cavern would be daunting enough. Even a glimpse of ferocious beasts would leave him utterly speechless. Perhaps upon seeing our entrance, he was tempted to venture in for some experience. Regardless of him, we pressed on to investigate the nature of this cavern. Caverns are indeed categorized by levels. Level 1 caverns are the weakest, housing beasts of feeble strength, with the mightiest among them not exceeding the rank of a second-tier martial artist. Level 2 caverns, however, possess considerably more power, often guarded by master-level beasts. As for Level 3 caverns, the ferocity of the beasts within escalates dramatically. Observing Huang Qing and his companions depart, Yinan pondered for a few moments before deciding against joining them. Exposure could lead to capture and scrutiny. He ventured in the opposite direction. Upon entering the cavern, he had already resolved that fortune favors the bold. In formidable caverns, the presence of beastly strongholds loomed, and Yinan presently hoped that this cavern harbored none, for his current prowess was still rather modest. Moments later, Yinan arrived at a place littered with bones, seemingly those of fierce beasts. As a fourth-tier elite martial artist, his mental acuity was not exceptionally high, preventing him from detecting the vast locations of the beasts. Just as he prepared to leave, a fearsome roar echoed in his ears. Instantly, he turned towards the source of the sound, witnessing a dozen beasts charging at him. These were all second-tier martial beasts. And even as a fourth-tier elite martial artist endowed with various extraordinary abilities, he felt quite vulnerable. Fire Dragon Technique. Yi Feng's fists ignited with flames as a dragon of fire, several meters long, surged forth toward the dozen second-tier beasts. Wherever the fiery dragon swept, the surrounding winds were vaporized. The beasts, caught off guard, were instantaneously reduced to ash. Yi Feng gasped. Why did he resort to the great fire dragon technique? Nevertheless, the ashes could be collected. He glanced at the pile of powder not far away. It was still the residue of fierce beasts. Ding. Collection successful. 15 essence stones. 5 cultivation talent stones. 5 extraordinary talent stones. What a loss. Yinan gritted his teeth and continued onward. After a brief while, he arrived beneath a black mountain, which was riddled with numerous large holes. Yinan's gaze fixated on the openings, contemplating the terrifying number of beasts that might dwell within. However, he was unaware of the strength of the beasts inside. Recklessly entering could lead to dire consequences. Yinan resolved to create a disturbance to lure the beasts out. Should they prove formidable, he would retreat. If they were weak, he would slay them and gather the spoils. The Fire Dragon Technique would be the prudent choice at this juncture. Fire Dragon Technique. The fiery dragon surged toward the Black Mountain with tremendous force. Boom. The Black Mountain erupted with a deafening roar, a massive fissure splitting its stone walls, causing numerous boulders to tumble down. A cacophony of ferocious, beastly roars filled the air. From several large openings in the Black Mountain, dozens of savage creatures surged forth. Yinan's retina began to frantically assess the strength of these beasts. Compared to the insect beasts encountered in its city, these creatures were indeed slightly stronger, yet not overwhelmingly so. Given Yinan's current prowess, exterminating them posed no significant challenge. He activated his low-level speed talent and charged towards the approaching horde of beasts. With a series of thunderous impacts, his enhanced fists, amplified by his low-level power talent, coupled with the foundational battle strength of 25,000 typical elite warriors, created gales with each strike. The air crackled as he even managed to produce sonic booms. One after another, the beasts fell to the ground, unable to perceive the shadows of Yinan's fists before succumbing in pools of blood. The horde of savage creatures could not withstand his onslaught. Yinan was an unstoppable force. Though the low-level beasts possessed some intelligence, they recognized the futility of their situation and began to flee in panic. Having already envisioned these creatures as rewards for collection, Yinan would not allow them to escape. He swiftly pursued the fleeing beasts, dispatching them with ease. Following this, it was time for collection. Ding. Collection successful. 1. 500 essence stones. 320 cultivation talent stones. 320 ability talent stones. Activation. 60-fold critical hit. Yinan integrated the rewards obtained from the collection, successfully breaking through to the rank of a 5th-tier elite warrior. To his astonishment, just after merging the rewards, a multitude of beasts surged forth from the Black Mountain's openings once more. This time, their numbers exceeded the previous horde, reaching over 100. Moreover, several 9th-tier warrior-level beasts emerged. Excellent. Yinan scoffed coldly. He stepped forward to confront the incoming swarm of beasts. Although their numbers were daunting, he was not to be underestimated. He possessed a low-level defensive talent. Even if these lowly beasts managed to strike him, it would not be fatal. Boom. The sonic blasts echoed through the air as the beasts met the tempestuous onslaught of Yinan's fists, leaving no chance for survival. The few 9th-tier warrior-level beasts, witnessing this carnage, were struck with terror, their spirits shaken. This human was utterly insane. Yinan was now consumed by a bloodlust. To him, these beasts were nothing more than mere ants. The few 9th-tier warrior-level beasts dared not linger even for a moment, fleeing with unprecedented speed. Yet, they could not evade their grim fate. Ding. Collection successful. 6,000 essence stones. 1. 200 cultivation talent stones. 1,200 essence stones of supernatural abilities. 1 low-level flame talent. 1 blood demon wolf experience card. Activation of 70-fold critical strike. Yinan gazed at the low-level flame talent and realized that 3 low-level flame talents could be synthesized into a medium-level flame talent. With his own low-level flame talent, he now possessed 2 low-level flame talents. The blood demon wolf experience card. Yinan had previously seen the blood demon wolf in the beast compendium. It was a fearsome beast of grandmaster level, a noble amongst many beastly races. The blood demon wolf experience card, upon use, one's aura and form will transform into that of the blood demon wolf for 3 days, although one's strength remains unchanged. Yinan smiled. With the blood demon wolf experience card, he could once again venture into the beast's lair without concern. However, he still harbored a slight doubt. Why was he able to transform without an Ultraman transformation device? Chapter 7. Assuming the role of the blood demon wolf in the dark forest beast lair, Yinan fused 20,000 essence stones, advancing from a 5th-tier elite warrior to a 7th-tier elite warrior. His medium-level cultivation talent upgraded to high-level cultivation talent. Low-level strength talent evolved into medium-level strength talent. Low-level speed talent progressed to medium-level speed talent. Low-level defense talent ascended to medium-level defense talent. Yinan felt a surge of joy. Medium-level strength, speed, and defense talents all boasted a 5-fold enhancement effect. Moreover, with the high-level cultivation talent, the efficacy of absorbing essence stones would significantly improve. The status of being a 7th-tier elite warrior was not the most crucial aspect. The true significance lay in the acquisition of the blood demon wolf experience card. The strength of the beasts within the lair was indiscernible to the naked eye, but with the blood demon wolf experience card in hand, he felt no trepidation. The cavern that had appeared in his city was vast beyond measure. As Yinan traversed through the cavernous world, he eliminated numerous beasts along the way. Yet their numbers did not satisfy him. He sensed that he was still on the periphery of the cavern. The beasts were scarce, and only in the depths would he encounter life-threatening perils. Half an hour later, a pitch-black forest came into view. The trees were entirely black, with bizarre shapes and towering heights. The sounds of beastly roars echoed continuously from within the forest. Yinan recognized this as a beast lair. Finally, the Blood Demon Wolf experience card had found its purpose. After utilizing the Blood Demon Wolf experience card, Yinan transformed into the Blood Demon Wolf. Standing at 4 meters tall, upright, with a fiery red body, he was as robust as a dragon, his fur akin to forged steel, and his emerald eyes exuded a menacing aura. The assertion that the larger the beast, the more terrifying its power is not entirely accurate. Beyond the truly colossal beasts, there also exist humanoid-like beasts. The Blood Demon Wolf falls into the category of humanoid beasts. Yinan gazed upon the foreboding, shadowy expanse of the beast forest, feeling an overwhelming sense of pressure. If the beasts within were not formidable, he could easily eradicate them. However, if they proved to be powerful, he would systematically draw them out. After all, the blood demon wolf was a noble among beasts, and the creatures inhabiting this forest would likely show deference. Resolutely, he ventured into the darkened depths of the beast forest. Upon entering, several crimson blood ants came into view. These ants were as large as calves, their bodies of vibrant crimson, and they were all of the second-tier warrior level. Yinan understood that even if these diminutive crimson blood ants were unaware of the blood demon wolf, its mere presence would be enough to intimidate them. Upon seeing a beast towering before them like an iron tower, the ants were struck with shock, exclaiming in their beastly language, "Blood, blood, 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 demon wolf." To his astonishment, Yinan realized he could comprehend their words. The experience card of the blood demon wolf not only endowed him with its aura and form, but also the ability to understand beastly speech. A revelation that took him by surprise. If that were the case, having transformed into the blood demon wolf, his speech should naturally convert to the language of beasts as well. Curious about the mightiest among them, he spoke, and indeed, his human words seamlessly transformed into the language of beasts. The crimson blood ants were rendered speechless, never imagining that a beast of such power as the blood demon wolf would stand before them, something they wouldn't dare to dream. Great blood demon wolf. The most powerful entity in the Black Forest Den is Lady Millis, a fourth-tier great warrior beast. Then lead me to her. The ants, trembling with awe, eagerly nodded and began to guide Yinan deeper into the heart of the Black Forest Den. Secretly, they reveled in the thought of boasting about this encounter for an entire year. Successfully escorting the blood demon wolf to its destination would surely leave their kin in awe. As they traversed the path to the Black Forest Den, numerous beasts could be seen along the way. Shock, disbelief, and stupor painted the faces of these creatures, many of whom blinked rapidly, convinced they must be imagining things. Why would a beast of the blood demon wolf's caliber appear in the Black Forest? Yinan, too, felt a pang of unease. Although the aura and form of the blood demon wolf experience card were indistinguishable from the true beast, his own power remained unchanged. He was still merely a seventh-tier elite warrior, despite possessing various extraordinary abilities. Confronting a fourth-tier great warrior beast amidst an unknown number of others would spell certain doom if he acted recklessly. Under the guidance of the crimson blood ants, Yinan arrived at the entrance of a cave. The cave was not grand, shrouded in darkness, yet for Yinan, a seventh-tier elite warrior, it felt as bright as day. Great blood demon wolf, Lady Millis is within. Very well. A few crimson-blooded ants were filled with joy. My lord, the blood demon wolf. If there are no further matters, we shall take our leave. Go ahead, Yinan replied with a nod. The crimson-blooded ants hurried away, driven by a singular purpose, to boast of their exploits. Outside the cave, numerous ferocious beasts had gathered, drawn by the overwhelming aura of terror. Upon sighting the blood demon wolf, they were struck dumb, as if struck by lightning. Unbeknownst to these beasts, the magnificent blood demon wolf before them was, in fact, a human. What would their reaction be if they were to discover this truth? Within the cave, a humanoid beast trembled. Such a terrifying presence, it gasped. This creature was Millis, a fourth-tier martial beast. Millis dared not linger in the cave and swiftly made its way outside. The disparity in aura between a fourth-tier martial beast and a grandmaster-level beast was akin to the chasm between heaven and earth. Moreover, the blood demon wolf was not merely an ordinary grandmaster, but one of the seventh tier or above. Upon emerging from the cave, Millis understood that powerful kin must have arrived. When it laid eyes upon the blood demon wolf, it nearly collapsed in fear. In this cavern, it had been the mightiest of beasts, yet before the blood demon wolf, it felt utterly insignificant. Are you Millis? Yinan inquired, observing the creature's astonishment. Why yes. Esteemed blood demon wolf. Millis stammered, its voice trembling with trepidation. After speaking, Millis hastily gestured for Yinan to proceed. Esteemed blood demon wolf, please, speak inside. That will not be necessary. The situation is dire. We cannot afford to waste a single moment, Yinan asserted. Millis and the multitude of beasts outside the cave were taken aback, gazing at Yinan in confusion, unable to comprehend his words. Esteemed blood demon wolf, forgive my ignorance. I do not grasp your meaning, Millis cautiously inquired. Chapter 8. The Massacre of the Crimson Blood Ant Clan. Second-tier martial beast above the cavern lay a small city named Incity. The ferocious beasts that had ventured through the cave passage a few days earlier had all been eradicated. Do you understand my intent? Yinan addressed Millis. As a fourth-tier martial beast, Millis possessed intelligence akin to that of an ordinary human, and it certainly grasped Yinan's meaning. Esteemed blood demon wolf, you mean to lead us out of the cave passage to slaughter the humans of Incity? Millis responded, excitement lacing its tone. The multitude of beasts outside the cave also buzzed with exhilaration. To be led into battle by the blood demon wolf was a prospect of unparalleled glory. It is more or less as such. However, Incity is but a small town. Although it harbors a few formidable human warriors, they are hardly to be feared. How many kin reside within the Black Forest nest? According to Lord Blood Demon Wolf, there are over 7,000 kin in the Black Forest, Mira said to Yinan. Yinan smiled, saying, "Very well. I shall first lead 1,000 kin out to let them witness the world. Once we conquer in city, we shall allow all our kin to emerge from the subterranean lairs and wage war against humanity in other realms." Mira and the numerous ferocious beasts were filled with fervor. Lord Blood Demon Wolf, shall I accompany you? You may refrain from joining for now, should any humans invade the lair. It would be troublesome without your presence to oversee it. Mira nodded eagerly, much like a chick pecking at grains. Lord Blood Demon Wolf, there are 7 major clans in the Black Forest, each with just over 1,000 kin. Which clan do you wish to take first? Subsequently, the leaders of the 7 clans, the barbaric Steel Bull clan, Bloodthirsty Tiger clan, Shadow Cat clan, Three-Headed Patterned Serpent clan, Crimson Blood Ant clan, Azure Iron Wolf clan, and Ferocious Lion clan, presented themselves before Yinan. The leaders of these 7 fierce beast clans were all elite warriors of the 6th rank, possessing little more than basic offensive or defensive abilities. Thanks to the system's capabilities, Yinan could discern the true strength of the 7 clan leaders with clarity. Each leader eagerly sought to accompany Lord Blood Demon Wolf into battle. Let us first take the Crimson Blood Ant clan. Among the 7, the leader of the Crimson Blood Ant clan was the weakest. Thank you, Lord Blood Demon Wolf. The leader of the Crimson Blood Ant clan was immensely thrilled to be chosen. Yet, it remained blissfully unaware of the trials that awaited it and its clan. Time waits for no one. The experience card for Lord Blood Demon Wolf was only valid for 3 days. Yinan led the Crimson Blood Ant clan out of the Black Forest nest. The ferocious beasts within had never emerged from the subterranean lairs and were ignorant of the location of the passage. Yinan guided them onward. Meanwhile, under Master Huang Qing's leadership, over a dozen formidable warriors were urgently probing the depths of the lair, making their way towards Yinan's direction. Moments later, Master Huang Qing and his comrades caught sight of Yinan and the 1,000-strong Crimson Blood Ants. 1,000 Crimson Blood Ants were hardly intimidating. Before them, the feeble beasts resembled true ants. Only the powerful beasts posed a genuine threat. In the ground battle between the beasts and humanity, the human warriors could only suppress from the air, engaging formidable beasts in aerial combat. Should they opt to suppress on the ground, the strong beasts above would unleash catastrophic assaults upon them. Thus, upon witnessing the formidable Blood Demon Wolf leading the charge, Master Huang Qing and his fellow warriors were gripped by sheer terror. The Blood Demon Wolf was an entity they could never hope to defeat. A mere Blood Demon Wolf possesses the power to render any further investigation unnecessary, as it is evident that the cavern has reached a level of at least 3, if not beyond. Yinan halted his steps, and the throng of over 1,000 Crimson Blood Ants came to a standstill as well. "My Lord Blood Demon Wolf, what troubles you?" inquired the leader of the Crimson Blood Ants, perplexed. "It is nothing, save for my desire to divert your journey from its city to another location." "Another location? Where might that be?" "The Ghost Gate." As the words fell, Yinan unleashed a fist toward the leader of the Crimson Blood Ants. This blow, infused with vital energy, medium strength aptitude, and fire affinity, was delivered with such proximity that evasion was utterly impossible for the leader. Die! With a resounding impact, Yinan's fist penetrated the leader's form. Silence enveloped the scene, so profound that one could hear a pin drop. The multitude of Crimson Blood Ants stood as if turned to stone. Even Master Huang Qing and the dozen formidable warriors preparing to flee were rendered immobile, their pupils dilating in shock, speech escaping them. With a series of thunderous punches, Yinan withdrew his fist from the leader's body and began to strike wildly, each blow empowered by his medium-strength aptitude. The entire space reverberated with force, the sound of sonic booms echoing continuously. The Crimson Blood Ants, caught off guard by their lord's sudden slaughter, began to fall in droves. This is a world where strength reigns supreme. Although numbers possess their significance, they pale in comparison to absolute power. Despite the presence of over 1,000 Crimson Blood Ants, they were rendered inconsequential before Yinan. Akin to how Master Huang Qing and the warriors perceived these ants, as nothing more than insignificant pests. The Crimson Blood Ants collapsed one after another into pools of blood, the air devoid of their cries, replaced only by the sounds of fists meeting flesh and the explosive force of impact. Yinan had no intention of employing the Fire Dragon technique, for such an action would reduce the ants to mere ashes, greatly diminishing the recovery effect. Under the terrifying onslaught of his punches, thousands of Crimson Blood Ants met their demise. Master Huang Qing and the other warriors stood in stunned disbelief. Why did these fierce beasts turn upon one another? Had the Crimson Blood Ants provoked the Blood Demon Wolf, or was there a deeper intrigue at play? This was indeed a Blood Demon Wolf. Yinan surveyed the corpses of the 1,000 crimson blood ants. It was time to collect his spoils. Ding. Recovery successful. 250. 000 stone units. 50,000 cultivation aptitude stones. 50,000 special ability aptitude stones. Low-level fire affinity X1. Special ability aptitude attack on beasts. Equal recovery rewards activated. Ding. 80-fold critical hit activated. Upon witnessing the rewards of his recovery, Yinan could not help but exclaim in exhilaration. Without further ado, the extraordinary ability to vanquish ferocious beasts and simultaneously recover rewards is indeed remarkable. This implies that should he employ the fire dragon technique, even if these beasts are reduced to ashes, the recovery effect remains unchanged. Consequently, he will be able to swiftly eliminate these beasts and reclaim their rewards. He has united various recovery rewards: 8th rank Elite Martial Artist, 9th rank Elite Martial Artist, 1st rank Grand Martial Artist, and 2nd rank Grand Martial Artist, advancing through realms until reaching the 2nd rank Grand Martial Artist level. Coupled with his innate low-level fire affinity, he now possesses 3 low-level fire talents, which are sufficient to merge into a medium-level fire talent. Without a moment's hesitation, he fused the 3 low-level fire talents into a medium-level fire talent. Yinan opened his palm, and a flame more intense than his previous low-level fire talent manifested within it. Chapter 9. The Decimation of the Barbaric Steel Bull Tribe. The fire talent belongs to the elemental category. In comparison, even a medium-level power talent pales in comparison to a low-level fire talent. Yinan gazed at the vibrant flames in his hand, clenched his fist, and the flames vanished. Now, as a 2nd-rank Grand Martial Artist, he faced Millis, a 4th-rank Grand Martial Beast, amidst a horde of over 6,000 ferocious beasts. To exercise caution, Yinan prepared to extract another batch of beasts from the Black Forest, and once reclaimed, he would directly enter the Black Forest's lair to recover more beasts. He set forth toward the lair of the Black Forest. Master Huangqing and the Grand Martial Artist were hastening toward the subterranean passage, where the Blood Demon Wolf had appeared. They needed to report to the Alliance leader back at the Jiangnan base city post-haste. Upon entering the Black Forest lair, Yinan found the Blood Ant tribe at its periphery. Strangely, not a single blood ant remained in the entire Black Forest, rendering the area eerily quiet. Moments later, ferocious beasts began to emerge before Yinan. He paid no heed to their astonished expressions and proceeded deeper into the lair. Upon reaching the entrance of Millis Cavern, a throng of beasts stared at him, bewildered by his presence. Didn't he, the Lord Blood Demon Wolf, take the Blood Ant tribe to the subterranean passage? Why has he returned? One beast exclaimed in astonishment. The others were equally perplexed, engulfed in confusion. I suspect the battle in city was too fierce. Did you not notice the bloodstains on the Lord Blood Demon Wolf? The scent of blood ants lingers within those stains, another beast pondered aloud after a brief silence. Yinan, overhearing their conversation, couldn't help but chuckle. These beasts had quite the imagination. Yet, upon reflection, it seemed the only plausible explanation. In his current guise as the Blood Demon Wolf, both his form and aura concealed his true identity as a human. Upon entering Millis Cavern, he discovered not only Millis but also the leaders of other beast tribes. As Yinan approached the cave's entrance, they sensed the noble aura emanating from the Blood Demon Wolf, and in that fleeting moment of distraction, he stepped inside. Lord Blood Demon Wolf, how have you returned? Is the war not going well? Mira asked, gazing at Yinan in bewilderment. The Crimson Blood Ant clan is finished, Yinan replied, shaking his head with a sigh. Hiss, Mira and the other leaders gasped, their bodies trembling violently. The Crimson Blood Ant clan is finished? Do not be so fearful. Although the Crimson Blood Ant clan has met its demise, and city is in a similar plight, Yinan reassured them. Mira and the leaders exhaled in relief. The news of the Crimson Blood Ant clan's downfall had genuinely terrified them. Lord Blood Demon Wolf, what is your purpose in returning? Well, I intend to take some of our kin up there. The strong of city have all been slain, leaving only a few feeble humans. It would benefit our kin to undergo some training, Yinan explained. Upon hearing this, Mira and the leaders felt a surge of joy. After all, in the war between beasts and humans, casualties are inevitable. The demise of the Crimson Blood Ant clan was inconsequential to them, as it was not their own kind that had perished. Yinan's words ignited a heated debate among the leaders of the beast clans residing in the Dark Forest. I will go. No, I will go. What do you mean you will go? I shall go. Yinan raised his hand, signaling them to cease their quarrel. He chuckled inwardly, for these beasts were oblivious to the fact that the destination they sought was the path to the underworld. This time, let us take the Bull clan, Yinan decided, glancing at the leader of the Bull clan. The Bull clan is renowned for its brute strength and formidable defenses, their overall prowess surpassing that of the Crimson Blood Ants. Thank you, Lord Blood Demon Wolf. I have never ventured into the human realm. This time, I can witness those frail humans. The leader of the Bull clan exclaimed with a hearty laugh. Very well, gather your kin, and we shall set forth, Yinan instructed. Yes, the leader of the Bull clan promptly exited the cave to assemble his people. Mira and the other leaders of the beast clans felt a wave of disappointment. They wished that Lord Blood Demon Wolf had chosen them instead. Fear not, everyone will have their chance. Patience is key. Sometimes what the eye perceives is not the truth. Yinan consoled Mira and the other leaders. Mira and the leaders nodded, recognizing the wisdom in Lord Blood Demon Wolf's words. They understood that while humans may appear feeble, they were now capable of contending with their beastly kin. After departing the cave, Yinan arrived at the territory of the Bull clan. The leader had already gathered all the members of the Bull clan. Over 1,000 bull beasts regarded Yinan with a mix of admiration and trepidation, their respect and fear stemming from his noble status as a blood demon wolf. Lord Blood Demon Wolf, we are ready to depart. The Bull clan leader respectfully addressed Yinan. Let us set forth, Yinan commanded. With that, the Bull clan marched forth in a grand procession. As the leader rallied the clan, he had already informed the 1,000 or so bull beasts that there were no powerful humans left in the city, only the weak, the elderly, and the infirm. Thus, the mighty Steel Ox tribe, filled with fervor, believed this expedition was destined to be a massacre. Yinan, accompanied by over 1,000 mighty steel oxen, returned to the location where the blood-red ants were slaughtered. The scent of the blood-red ants was overwhelmingly potent. My lord, Blood Demon Wolf, why is the presence of blood-red ants so intense here? The chief of the mighty Steel Ox tribe looked quizzically at Yinan. Because it was here that the blood-red ants met their demise. As the words fell, Yinan unleashed a powerful punch towards the tribe's chief. The chief, caught unawares and without any defense, only reacted when Yinan's fist was mere inches from his body. However, it was too late. Even with the formidable defense of the mighty Steel Ox, it proved futile. Yinan's low-level power talent had now ascended to a medium-level power talent. A deafening crash resounded. The chief of the mighty Steel Ox collapsed, his massive form creating a deep crater in the ground. My lord, Blood Demon Wolf. The 1,000-strong mighty Steel Ox herd was taken aback, their expressions mirroring those of the slain blood-red ants. Fire Dragon Technique. Tianyuan Fist. Frenzied Shadow Fist. A fire dragon, stretching several meters, roared to life. The might of the flames was beyond what the mighty Steel Ox could withstand. After being struck by the fire dragon, they howled in agony as their bodies ignited rapidly. The Tianyuan Fist was the advanced form of the Frenzied Shadow Fist, unleashing countless colossal fists upon the mighty Steel Oxen. The mighty Steel Oxen endured torturous suffering akin to the depths of hell, their desperate cries echoing. After a prolonged period, the entire force of over 1,000 mighty Steel Oxen was annihilated. The critical hit multiplier now stood at 80 times. Although the number of mighty Steel Oxen was comparable to that of the blood-red ants, their overall strength was slightly superior. Yinan gazed upon the corpses of the 1,000 mighty Steel Oxen strewn across the ground and silently murmured, Reclaim. Chapter 10, The Great Fire Dragon Technique. Slaughtering the Black Forest Nest. Ding. Reclamation successful. 400,000 stone currency. 70,000 cultivation talent stones. 70,000 extraordinary talent stones. Yuan Dan X10. Medium level fire talent X1. Intermediate fire element technique. Great Fire Dragon Technique. Activated a 90-fold critical hit. Yinan fused the reclamation rewards. He examined the Yuan Dan. Yuan Dan replenishes the vital energy of martial artists below the master level once their energy is depleted. 6 medium-level fire talents could be fused into a high-level fire talent. As for the intermediate fire element technique, the Great Fire Dragon Technique, it was an advanced version of the Fire Dragon Technique, capable of achieving mastery without further training. 3rd grade, Great Martial Artist. 4th grade, Great Martial Artist. 5th grade, Great Martial Artist. With the intermediate fire element technique, the Great Fire Dragon Technique, his power escalated to new heights. 5th grade, Great Martial Artist. Coupled with various extraordinary talents, Yinan no longer needed to lure the ferocious beasts from the Black Forest Nest for slaughter and reclamation. Yinan's gaze was piercing as he looked toward the direction of the Black Forest Nest, a cold smile gracing his lips. Let the ferocious beasts within the abyssal Black Forest cave descend into hell. Yinan made his way towards the cave. Upon returning to the lair of Millis, he found her and the leaders of the beast clans gazing at him with a mixture of confusion and curiosity, unable to comprehend his return. Lord Blood Demon Wolf, have all the humans in Anqing been vanquished? Millis inquired, her voice laced with anticipation. The leaders of the beast clans also regarded Yinan with eager eyes. Not quite, Yinan replied, shaking his head. The Crimson Blood Ant clan and the Savage Steel Bull clan have been eradicated by my hand. What? Millis and the clan leaders were momentarily stunned, unable to fathom the gravity of his words. Lord Blood Demon Wolf, you must be jesting. Before Millis could finish her sentence, a massive fire dragon, stretching dozens of meters, appeared and consumed the leader of the bloodthirsty tiger clan in an instant. The speed of the event left Millis and the other clan leaders in sheer terror. Why you? Millis and the leaders struggled to accept the reality of the situation, bewildered by the actions of the Blood Demon Wolf. I have already stated that sometimes, what the eyes perceive is not necessarily the truth, Yinan said, fixing his gaze upon Millis and the remaining clan leaders. Upon hearing this, Millis and the others began to grasp the meaning behind his words. Why you are not the blood demon, boom. Another beast clan leader fell lifeless to the ground. In a panic, Millis and the other leaders fled for their lives. Run? Yinan stepped forward, his medium-speed talent propelling him to catch up to them in an instant. Bang, 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 with a flurry of strikes. Millis and the remaining clan leaders collapsed into a pool of blood. Ding. Recovery successful. 600,000 stone coins. 170,000 cultivation talent stones. 170,000 extraordinary ability stones. Medium fire talent X1. Intermediate finger technique, shattering sky finger. High-level beasts were indeed formidable, yet from just a few, he had garnered such bountiful rewards. With the acquisition of another medium fire talent, Yinan now possessed 3 of them in total. After assimilating the rewards, his cultivation reached the level of a 7th-rank martial artist. In a place as small as Anqing, a 7th-rank martial artist was undoubtedly terrifying. However, in the Jiangnan Bay city, it was hardly noteworthy. Yinan exited the cave and commenced the elimination of the other beasts within the abyssal black forest. Great fire dragon technique. Shattering sky finger. Celestial origin fist. Frenzied shadow fist. The beasts of the black forest were utterly powerless against Yinan's onslaught, transforming the entire forest into a hellish inferno. Yinan began to collect the remains of the beasts within the forest. However, given the vast number of beasts and the considerable distances between each clan's territory, he could only recover them one clan at a time. Ding. Recovery successful. 420,000 stone coins. 100,000 cultivation talent stones. 100,000 supernatural talent stones. Ding. Redemption successful. 470,000 stones. 120,000 cultivation talent stones. 120,000 supernatural talent stones. Activate 100-fold critical strike. After reclaiming all the ferocious beasts within the Black Forest, he opened his attribute panel. Name, Yinan. System, Billionfold Critical Redemption System. Realm, 9th grade Grand Martial Artist. Cultivation talent, Advanced. Supernatural talent, Intermediate Fire talent, Intermediate Strength talent, Intermediate Speed talent, Intermediate Defense talent. Techniques, Great Fire Dragon Technique, Fire Dragon Technique, Great Heavenly Fist. Frenzied Shadow Fist. The 9th grade Grand Martial Artist is but a hair's breadth away from the master level, yet to transcend into master, one must overcome a bottleneck that requires immense vitality to break through. Currently, Yinan's cultivation talent is merely advanced, rendering him incapable of fully refining an entire piece of elemental stone into vitality. Deep within the cavern, he pondered. This cavern was evidently a level 2 or higher. Given his present 9th grade Grand Martial Artist strength, venturing deeper into the cavern might lead to perilous danger. 2 days had already elapsed. The Blood Demon Wolf experience card still had 1 day left, and Yinan resolved to make the most of this remaining time. After much contemplation, Yinan decided to delve into the depths of the cavern. He refused to believe that the innermost recesses were entirely guarded by master-level ferocious beasts. In Blue Star, should any formidable beast from those renowned caverns emerged into the human realm, it would spell catastrophic consequences. However, in this small place known as An City, Yinan harbored some hope. A level 2 cavern might indeed be patrolled by master-level beasts. He was merely a hair's breadth from that level himself. Without further hesitation, Yinan ventured deeper into the cavern. At the Jiangnan Bay City, headquarters of the Extreme Path Alliance, Master Huangqing and a dozen Grand Martial Artists had returned to the Alliance's headquarters. Master Huangqing, what is the situation regarding the cavern in An City? Inquired Su Yuan, the leader of the Extreme Path Alliance. Leader, we discovered a blood demon wolf within the An City cavern. Huangqing's words sent the Grand Hall of the Alliance into an uproar. A blood demon wolf? That is equivalent to a Grand Master-level ferocious beast. How terrifying is the An City cavern? However, what? Su Yuan, noticing Huangqing had more to say, pressed for clarification. The blood demon wolf we encountered was slaughtering other ferocious beasts. We are uncertain why. Logically, with its mental prowess, it should have detected us. Yet it showed no intention of pursuing, Huangqing explained. The assembly in the Grand Hall exchanged bewildered glances. The blood demon wolf is slaughtering ferocious beasts? The experts of Jiangnan Base City, lacking deep understanding of the caverns, found such an extraordinary occurrence utterly incredulous. The leader of the Yakuza Alliance, Su Yuan, pondered a possibility. He surveyed all those present in the Grand Hall and articulated his thought. The blood demon wolf may be preparing to evolve into a more formidable beast, necessitating the consumption of other ferocious creatures. In the depths of the cave, within Valen City, Su Yuan's explanation left the powerful individuals in the hall somewhat astonished. It was their first encounter with the notion that ferocious beasts could grow stronger by devouring their kin. Nevertheless, such a possibility was not entirely implausible. The subterranean passages of an city were now under our complete control. In recent days, the ferocious beasts had shown no inclination to emerge from the depths. What I propose is to investigate further within the cave, Su Yuan continued. Everyone in the hall nodded in agreement, sharing the same sentiment. They understood the necessity of caution. Rash actions were to be avoided unless absolutely required. Leader, why not report this to the imperial capital? Let the powerful figures there conduct an investigation, Huang Qing suggested. Somewhat taken aback, he was not eager to return to the depths, not out of fear of death, but rather a desire to die with purpose. As a 7th-tier master, he had no chance of survival against a beast of Grandmaster caliber. The situation at the imperial capital is urgent. There are no resources available to assist us. Su Yuan replied. The imperial capital, the heart of the Dragon Nation. The Jiangnan Bay City was one of the 8 major bases of the Dragon Nation, yet it was the weakest among them. I must trouble you to make another trip, Huang Qing, Su Yuan stated, looking directly at him. Huang Qing sighed. It seemed inevitable. Very well, he conceded, nodding in agreement. After leaving the Grand Hall, he set forth towards an city once more, accompanied by a dozen formidable warriors. Meanwhile, Yinan had already ventured deep into the cave, still assuming the form of the blood demon wolf. Shortly thereafter, he encountered an iron shell turtle, a defensive type of ferocious beast, which stood before him as a 5th-tier warrior-level creature. Come here, Yinan beckoned to the iron shell turtle. The turtle retracted its neck. Astonished, blood demon wolf lord, you, its voice trembled, clearly unprepared to meet the fabled beast. The iron shell turtle obediently approached Yinan. What is your command? Blood demon wolf lord? It steadied itself and inquired. In this cave, where are the most ferocious beasts concentrated? Yinan asked. According to the blood demon wolf lord, the area with the highest concentration of ferocious beasts is Valen City, the turtle replied. Valen City? Yinan recalled having heard that within the subterranean world, immense groups of ferocious beasts established their own cities, with the Beast King city being the largest, followed by the Great City, and then the major city. What is the highest tier of ferocious beasts in Valen City? 8th-tier master level. The iron shell turtle did not dare conceal any information, dutifully relaying all it knew to Yinan. An 8th-tier master-level beast? Yinan knew he could not possibly contend with such a foe. Blood demon wolf lord. Look over there, the turtle pointed. The iron turtle cast its gaze in a particular direction. Yinan followed the direction indicated by the iron turtle and discovered, several hundred meters away, a throng of ferocious beasts, numbering in the hundreds. What were these beasts? They were the fearsome creatures from the city of Valen, all belonging to the Bloodshadow clan, as stated by the iron turtle. That will suffice, Yinan remarked, looking at the iron turtle. Let us proceed. With that, he struck the iron turtle with a decisive blow, causing it to shatter into countless fragments, extinguishing its life. After reclaiming the remnants of the iron turtle, Yinan advanced towards the congregation of ferocious beasts. His current position obscured the sight of Valen City, indicating that it lay quite a distance away. The vision of a 9th-tier martial artist is unparalleled by that of ordinary individuals. The multitude of ferocious beasts had come to a halt, their gazes converging upon a singular point, sensing a profound pressure on their bloodlines. When they discerned a blood demon wolf racing towards them, they froze in shock, as if struck by lightning. Blood, a blood demon wolf. The beasts had always believed that their leader in Valen City was the strongest entity within the subterranean realm. They were astounded to find that even deeper within the abyss resided a blood demon wolf. Perhaps this creature was a guest summoned by their leader. As Yinan approached the horde of ferocious beasts that had emerged from Valen City, he inquired, "Where are you headed?" He briefly assessed their strength, noting that the most formidable among them was a 6th-tier martial artist beast. All the beasts were members of the Bloodshadow clan, resembling humanoid figures, their forms draped in crimson blood. A steamed blood demon wolf. We are proceeding to the subterranean passage, then to the human world, to annihilate the cities of humankind above. The 6th-tier martial artist beast respectfully explained to Yinan. Yinan nodded. I shall accompany you. The multitude of Bloodshadow beasts was taken aback. Was the esteemed blood demon wolf truly preparing to join them? Indeed, Yinan affirmed. before entering the abyss. He had merely been an elite martial artist, whose mental prowess was lacking. Now, as a ninth-tier martial artist, his mental capabilities had significantly enhanced. Not far ahead lay a grove of trees. Though modest in size, Yinan's mental strength could encompass the entire expanse of the grove. The direction of the march for the hundreds of blood-shadow beasts was indeed towards that grove. Yinan resolved to take action within the confines of the forest. Esteemed blood demon wolf, we are merely the first wave. Several more batches will arrive in succession, the sixth-tier martial artist beast said excitedly, noting Yinan's intention to accompany them to the human realm above the abyss. Will the reinforcements pass through that grove? Yinan inquired. Indeed. The sixth-tier martial artist beast affirmed with a nod. A surge of joy filled Yinan's heart. He had been concerned about facing dangers deep within the abyss. Yet here were ferocious beasts presenting themselves for him to reclaim. Then let us proceed, he declared. Yes, esteemed blood demon wolf. Yinan, accompanied by hundreds of blood-shadow ferocious beasts, made his way towards a nearby grove. Upon entering the grove, a sixth-grade martial artist among the blood-shadow beasts inquired, Lord Blood Demon Wolf, are you the one summoned by our city lord? Yinan halted his steps, casting a glance at the sixth-grade martial artist before him. Sky-shattering finger. A beam of radiant energy erupted forth, distorting the very air around it with its formidable force. The sixth-grade blood-shadow beast sensed an unprecedented danger. Its pupils constricting sharply. With a gasp, it spewed forth a spray of blood. Terror etched on its face. It gazed down at the gaping wound that had manifested upon its body. The sixth-grade blood-shadow beast was rendered speechless, collapsing to the ground as blood pooled around it. The remaining blood-shadow beasts were seized by fear, a chill coursing through their spines. Great Fire Dragon Technique. A fire dragon, stretching dozens of meters, roared as it weaved through the throng of blood-shadow beasts, reducing hundreds to mere ashes. Reclaim. Chapter 12. Slaying hundreds of blood-shadow beasts. Success. 800,000 Spirit Stones. 200,000 Cultivation Talent Stones, and 200,000 Extraordinary Ability Stones have been reclaimed. Yinan amalgamated the rewards he had obtained, fully aware that such a modest sum of spirit stones would not suffice to break through the constraints of a master. He required a substantial quantity of spirit stones. According to the words of the sixth-grade blood-shadow beast, several more waves of insect beasts were on their way. He consumed a spirit pill, realizing that for a ninth-grade martial artist, restoring one's energy to its peak condition was quite a challenge. After consuming the pill, his energy surged back to its zenith. Concealing himself among the boughs of a lush tree, he awaited the arrival of the ferocious beasts. Several hours later, the sounds of beasts echoed from outside the grove. A smile graced Yinan's face. Had the beasts finally arrived? Moments later, hundreds of blood-shadow beasts entered the grove. Yinan suppressed his presence, remaining undetected by the beasts below. From his vantage point atop the tree, he observed the multitude of blood-shadow beasts below, their numbers comparable to the previous group. Their overall strength similar, with the mightiest among them being yet another sixth-grade martial artist. After delving into the depths of the cavern, he learned from the iron-shell tortoise that the most formidable beast in Valen City was an eighth-grade master. With two sixth-grade blood-shadow beasts and this multitude preparing to enter in city through the cavern passage, it seemed they were resolutely intent on annihilating in city. Within the grove lingered the pungent scent of blood. As the hundreds of blood-shadow beasts came to a halt, they regarded their surroundings with confusion. Lord Phil, reports have emerged indicating that a formidable group of humans recently entered the cavern, yet they have remained on the periphery. Is it possible they encountered Lord Allen? A blood-shadow beast gazed upon the sixth-tier martial beast, its words trailing off, but the implications were unmistakable. Quite possibly. The sixth-tier blood-shadow beast pondered for a few moments. However, there was little cause for concern. If those humans had slain Allen and his kin, they would surely have departed. Yet, those powerful humans. Our cavern is merely a small one. Where could such formidable beings possibly dwell? The sixth-tier blood-shadow beast let out a cold chuckle. Nevertheless, despite the absence of any truly powerful humans, we must return and report this matter to the leader. The blood-shadow beast, listening to the sixth-tier blood-shadow beast's words, exhaled in relief. The kin led by Lord Allen were of similar strength, and given the overwhelming scent of blood in this place, it was highly likely they had all been exterminated. Reporting back to the leader seemed the most prudent course of action. The sixth-tier blood-shadow beast issued a command, and hundreds of blood-shadow beasts prepared to make their way back. Yinan had been eavesdropping on their conversation from a tree. He initially thought these blood-shadow beasts would act recklessly, but to his surprise, they exhibited a degree of intelligence. Yet, these blood-shadow beasts were still a step behind. He leaped down from the tree, landing behind them. With a resounding crash, several blood-shadow beasts fell lifeless to the ground. The remaining blood shadow beasts quickly turned around, their eyes widening in shock at the sight of the human before them. The blood demon wolf. The 6th-tier blood shadow beast was taken aback, its pupils constricting. Great fire dragon technique. The intermediate fire elemental technique, great fire dragon technique, was unleashed. A flame dragon, spanning dozens of meters, writhed and twisted, igniting the grove in an instant. The temperature in the air soared, seemingly evaporating the very atmosphere itself. The blood shadow beasts stood in awe before the fiery serpent, their souls gripped by terror. The anguished cries began to echo in Yi Nan's ears. He understood that these lower-tier beasts stood no chance against the great fire dragon technique. All they could do was await their demise. The 6th-tier blood shadow beast attempted to flee, but with its moderate speed talent, it appeared exceedingly slow. Yi Nan took a single step and positioned himself directly in front of the 6th-tier blood shadow beast. "I hail from Valen City," it stammered. "Wait." Yi Nan interrupted. "Spare me the pleasantries. Where else besides Valen City harbors such numerous beasts? To break free from the constraints between a 9th-tier martial artist and a master requires an immense quantity of elemental stones, the exact amount of which Yi Nan was uncertain. It can be said that only a master truly embodies the essence of strength. Mighty blood demon wolf, if I confide in you, will you spare me?" The 6th-grade martial beast, a blood shadow fiend, was bewildered as to why the blood demon wolf, being a fiend itself, would take action against its kind. Its instinct for survival surged, prompting it to reveal to Yi Nan its affiliation with the great city of Valen, hoping to dissuade Yi Nan from pursuing further. However, this 6th-grade martial beast was utterly paralyzed by fear. If it were truly a blood demon wolf, how could it possibly fear the city of Valen? "Very well." Yi Nan nodded. "Speak." The 6th-grade martial beast dared not withhold any more information and hastily replied. "Within the Black Luo 10-tier cavern, there are numerous fiends, each not particularly powerful. Where exactly is the Black Luo 10-tier cavern located?" Yi Nan inquired, needing to ascertain the distance. Should it be too far, he would choose to abandon the quest. Deep within the caverns, he had assumed the form of the blood demon wolf, yet his time in this guise was running short. The area he occupied was not far from the periphery, where he was invincible, but venturing deeper into the caverns would require greater strength. Fiends possess unique abilities, such as enhanced strength or speed. The 6th-grade martial beast before Yi Nan bore a low-level strength ability. Fortunately, he learned from the blood shadow fiend that the Black Luo 10-tier cavern was not far from his current location. "Noble blood demon wolf, I have shared all I know. May I take my leave now?" The 6th-grade martial beast gazed at Yi Nan in terror. "Noble blood demon wolf, you are an unparalleled entity. Your word is your bond. Is it not?" Seeing Yi Nan remain silent, the fiend hastily continued. Bang! As the 6th-grade blood shadow fiend concluded its plea, a resounding crack echoed as Yi Nan's fist pierced through its body. Withdrawing his hand, the fiend collapsed, its eyes wide with disbelief. "My apologies. I have never been one to honor my word." Chapter 13. The Black Luo Caverns Tears. Yi Nan collected this batch of fiends. Ding. Collection successful. 830,000 stones. 210,000 cultivation talent stones. 210,000 ability talent stones. Azure Wave Battle Armor. Activated with a 150-fold critical hit. Staring at the rewards obtained from the collection, Yi Nan was momentarily taken aback. A 150-fold critical hit. Previously, he had only achieved a 100-fold critical hit, yet now it had surged to 150-fold. This implied that following the 100-fold critical hit, there was an additional enhancement of 50-fold. Yi Nan felt a surge of excitement as he reviewed the properties of the Azure Wave Battle Armor. Azure Wave Battle Armor. Defense increased by 1-fold. Yi Nan integrated the rewards into his being. He discovered that the Kanglan Battle Armor was not merely a suit of armor, but rather something that could merge with his very being, which he found rather intriguing. He speculated that more ferocious beasts might soon arrive. There was no rush to venture into the Black Luo 10-layered cave, for it would not simply vanish. Hours passed, and soon another wave of equally formidable beasts appeared in Yi Nan's line of sight. As they entered the thicket, they, like the previous blood shadow beasts, detected the lingering scent of blood. With a roar, the great fire dragon technique unleashed, followed by the Tianyuan fist. Before the hundreds of blood shadow beasts could comprehend the unfolding chaos, they were met with a terrifying assault. The blood shadow beasts hardly had time to discern their adversary before they fell lifeless to the ground. Among this group of blood shadow beasts, the mightiest was also a 6th-grade martial artist level beast. Upon realizing that humans were their attackers, it gasped in horror, as if struck by lightning. The scene before it had transformed into a hellish nightmare. Hundreds of blood shadow beasts were utterly incapable of withstanding such ferocity, and soon perished. The 6th-grade martial artist blood shadow beast understood that it was no match for the human before it. In that fleeting moment of terror, Yinan had already closed the distance between them. Are there any more beasts emerging from Valent City? Yinan's gaze bore into the 6th grade martial artist Blood Shadow Beast. Should any more beasts approach, he would remain vigilant. If not, he would proceed to the Black Luo 10-layered cave. The 6th grade martial artist Blood Shadow Beast, paralyzed by fear, dared not withhold any information. No. It shook its head vigorously. Crack. As soon as the 6th grade martial artist Blood Shadow Beast finished its words, Yinan swiftly extended his right hand, which promptly snapped its neck. Yinan collected the remains of the hundreds of Blood Shadow Beasts. He still had not broken through his limitations. He understood that ascending from a 9th grade martial artist to a master was an arduous challenge. Yet he had not anticipated such difficulty. This explained why there were so many martial artists yet so few masters. His rapid ascent to the 9th grade martial artist level was not solely attributed to his cultivation talent. Rather, it was due to the integration of elemental stones into his body, which allowed for immediate refinement into vital energy without the tedious process of prolonged cultivation. Otherwise, even with his superior cultivation talent, the multitude of elemental stones would have taken years to fully refine. Having departed from the area, the effect of the Blood Demon's Celestial Wolf experience card had worn off, reverting him to his original form. From the 6th grade martial artist Blood Shadow Beast, he learned that the Black Luo 10-layered cave consisted of 10 levels, with each passage interconnected. Though the overall strength of the beasts within was not particularly formidable. Now, Yinan stealthily approached the entrance of the Black Luo 10-layered cave. Before him lay an immense and pitch-black cavern. Outside the cave, no fierce beasts roamed, and Yinan stepped into the cavern. The ability to restrain his breath proved invaluable. Unless one witnessed him directly, it was improbable for others to sense his presence through mere mental fortitude, unless they were significantly stronger than him. Upon entering the cave, though shrouded in darkness, Yinan's prowess rendered the obscurity as illuminating as daylight. As he ventured further, several fierce beasts fixated their gaze upon him. After a series of astonished roars, they lunged towards him. Observing their approach, Yinan smirked. The overall strength of the beasts within the 10th level of the Black Luo cave was relatively feeble. Although each subsequent layer possessed stronger creatures, he was a 9th-tier martial artist and felt no fear. With a mighty punch, he struck at the oncoming beasts. The force of his blow erupted from his fist, and before the creatures could reach him, their bodies were concaved by the impact. Embracing the principle that even the smallest of flies equate to meat, Yinan collected the fallen beasts, 700 yuan stones, 120 cultivation talent stones, and 120 supernatural talent stones. His cultivation talent upgraded to its pinnacle. A surge of joy filled Yinan's heart. With his cultivation talent maximized, the refining of yuan stones became remarkably efficient. However, his supernatural talent did not advance, as there were simply too many to upgrade. Roars echoed incessantly. Hundreds of fierce beasts emerged before Yinan. He regarded the multitude. These beasts were all rewards waiting to be claimed. Heavenly Origin Fist. He unleashed the intermediate martial technique, the Heavenly Origin Fist, sending shadows of his fists hurtling toward the throng of beasts. As they were merely martial-level creatures, their strength was woefully inadequate. With a chime, the recovery was successful. 200,000 yuan stones, 70,000 cultivation talent stones, and 70,000 supernatural talent stones. He acquired the intermediate speed martial technique, Shadow Step. Within the first tier of the Black Luo cave, he had encountered over 100 fierce beasts. After merging the rewards obtained, Yinan proceeded to the second tier. The Shadow Step, an intermediate speed technique, could be mastered directly and coupled with his moderate speed talent, enhanced Yinan's speed exponentially. In the second tier, the number of beasts swelled to over 300. Among them lay a third-tier elite martial beast, Great Fire Dragon Technique. Upon activating the technique, the majority of the 300 beasts were decimated, and the third-tier elite martial beast was crushed in Yinan's grasp. With another chime, the recovery was successful. 500,000 yuan stones, 150,000 cultivation talent stones, and 150,000 supernatural talent stones. He acquired the listening technique. Once activated, it allowed him to comprehend the language of the beasts, and conversely, his speech would automatically convert to their dialect. Yinan mused that with the listening technique, life became immensely easier. In the small grove, he was fortunate that the effect of the Blood Demon Wolf experience card had not yet faded. Otherwise, he would have remained oblivious to the existence of the 10th level of Black Luo. Among the ferocious beasts, only the master-level creatures possess the ability to articulate human speech, while the others are limited to their beastly language. In the third level, the number of ferocious beasts has surged to over 500, with the most formidable among them being a 5th-tier elite beast. Undoubtedly, Yinan swiftly dispatched the beasts within. Yet, despite feeling the constraints between a ninth-tier martial artist and a master drawing ever closer, it was still insufficient. Chapter 14. 2,000 beasts. The 4th level. The 5th level. The 6th level. In a mere span of time, Yinan ascended to the 6th level, where the count of ferocious beasts had escalated to 1,000. Bang, bang, bang. The cavern of the Black Luo's 10th level resonated with the sounds of fierce punches and raging flames. The beasts within the 6th level, confronted by a devil, were engulfed in terror and despair. With a single step, Yinan eliminated the last ferocious beast of the 6th level. Ding. Recovery successful. 1 million stone coins. 300,000 cultivation talent stones. 300,000 extraordinary talent stones. Medium flame talent X1. With the acquisition of another medium flame talent, along with his existing talents, Yinan now possessed a total of 4 medium flame talents, just 2 away from merging them into a superior flame talent. The medium strength talent upgraded to a superior strength talent. After merging the recovery rewards, Yinan's medium strength talent ascended to a superior level, boasting an 8-fold enhancement effect. Name: Yinan. System: Billion-fold recovery critical hit system. Realm: 9th tier martial artist. Cultivation talent: top tier. Extraordinary talents: medium flame talent, superior strength talent, medium speed talent, medium defense talent. Martial techniques: Great Fire Dragon Art, Fire Dragon Technique, Celestial Origin Fist, Sky Rending Finger, Shadow Veil Step, Frenzied Shadow Fist. Equipment: Kanglan Battle Armor. Yet, it was still not enough. Even with over 1,000 ferocious beasts on the 6th level, Yinan found himself unable to break the shackles. A realization that caught him off guard. Back in the 5th level, he had sensed he was on the verge of breaking through. Yet now he remained unable to ascend to the 1st-tier master level. Could it be that, in order to transcend the master realm, not only is a vast surge of vital energy required to break through the constraints, but also a relentless series of battles? If this were the case, it would make sense. His time as a martial artist was far too brief. Despite the multitude of beasts he had slain, it was all accomplished through sheer strength. Akin to an adult overpowering a child in kindergarten, yielding little in terms of combat experience. However, he understood that if he continued to fervently slay ferocious beasts, his combat experience would gradually accumulate, enabling him to shatter the constraints and reach the master level. In the Blue Star, only by becoming a master can one be considered a truly formidable martial artist. The status of a 1st-tier master is far beyond that of a 9th-tier martial artist. Yinan understood that he must seize this opportunity presented by the cavern, within the confines of the Jiangnan base city. No other caverns had been discovered apart from this one. While the wilderness did harbor some ferocious beasts, their numbers were certainly not comparable to those within the cavern. He ventured into the 7th level. Within this level, the quantity of beasts reached a staggering 1,200, exhibiting a strength far superior to that of the 6th level. Great Fire Dragon Technique. Sky-Splitting Finger. Celestial Fist. Shadow Strike Fist. Yinan unleashed all his martial techniques to vanquish the beasts swiftly. Although martial practitioners typically required extensive time to cultivate their techniques, Yinan was spared this arduous process, as the system allowed him to achieve mastery directly. This extraordinary advantage made him aware upon acquiring the system that, in a short span, he would ascend to become the most formidable martial artist on Blue Star. Otherwise, what would be the purpose of his transmigration? Yet it was not enough. He reclaimed all the beasts from the 7th level. The 8th level, still insufficient. The 9th level, still lacking. Yinan arrived at the 10th level. This was the final tier. Upon entering the 10th level, he was immediately surrounded by 100 ferocious beasts. The creatures bore expressions of astonishment, clearly unprepared for the presence of a human in the depths of the 10th level. Beyond the 10th level, there were still 9 barriers. The beasts understood that Yinan had breached the 10th level, and they perceived his strength as formidable. Among the multitude encircling him, some beasts hastily darted towards a certain location, evidently to relay news. The beasts watched Yinan with wariness, showing no inclination to attack, fully aware that they would not stand a chance against him. If they chose not to strike, would Yinan refrain from making the first move? Shadow Strike Fist. The low-tier martial technique, Shadow Strike Fist. Though its range was insufficient to annihilate such a multitude, one must not forget that Yinan was a 9th-tier martial artist, capable of emitting an astonishing amount of vital energy. The relatively weak beasts fell victim to the sheer force of his released energy. The energy and the phantoms of the Shadow Strike Fist sent the beasts crashing to the ground, lifeless in pools of blood. After reclaiming over 100 beasts, the furious roars of the remaining beasts echoed in Yinan's ears. A dark mass, overwhelming in scale, of ferocious beasts surged towards him. Their numbers surpassed 2,000. The overall strength of this horde was magnitudes greater than in previous levels, with 8 beasts of the great martial artist tier among them. Leading the charge was a beast of the 8th tier great martial artist level. As the earlier encounter with the 6th tier blood shadow beast in the grove had suggested, the creatures within the depths of the 10th level were not exceedingly powerful. However, this was only true in comparison to him and stronger human opponents. The terror that would ensue if weaker human martial artists entered the 10th level was unimaginable. These detestable humans. The 8th tier beast growled coldly at Yinan. Beasts of the 8th tier cannot articulate human speech. However, after a moment of comprehension, Yinan discerned its words. The Liaean demon spider, 8th tier warrior. Ability, venom. The information regarding this 8th tier beast materialized in Yinan's retina. The venomous ability was indeed fearsome. Although Yinan possessed numerous extraordinary talents and formidable defensive capabilities, he did not believe he could withstand the Liaean demon spider's venomous onslaught. His speed surpassed that of the Liaean demon spider. Enhanced further by his medium speed talent and the shadow step technique, he could likely eliminate the Liaean demon spider before it even had time to react. 2,000 beasts coldly fixated their gaze upon Yinan, awaiting their leader's command. At a mere word from their leader, they would launch a frenzied attack on Yinan, intent on tearing him to shreds. Shadow step. Suddenly, Yinan activated the shadow step, and with the intertwining of his medium speed talent, his velocity surged. The Liaean demon spider was not far from him, and, before it could even register its astonishment, Yinan stood before it. Clenching his fist imbued with the power of a blazing dragon, he bellowed, "Great fire dragon technique." A fiery dragon's force enveloped his fist, and he struck fiercely at the Liaean demon spider. Boom! A resounding explosion echoed as the scent of charred flesh wafted into the nostrils of all the beasts. The Liaean demon spider had been pierced through by a massive hole, its surroundings and inside scorched. Chapter 15. Breakthrough to Mastery, Heavenly Dragon's Sacred Technique. The Liaean demon spider collapsed heavily to the ground. Simultaneously, the vital energy within Yinan coalesced rapidly, forming a golden dragon. Yinan was suddenly filled with exhilaration. Was he finally breaking free from his shackles to attain mastery? The golden dragon. The formation was successful. The vital energy swirling around Yinan transformed into a radiant gold, exuding an even more intense aura as he glimmered like a golden idol. The beasts were rendered speechless, overwhelmed with terror. "Let me showcase the power of a master," Yinan declared, his gaze fixed firmly upon the beasts before him. He unleashed a punch, and in an instant, a golden dragon surged forth. The golden dragon represented the vital energy form of a master. A first-tier master wields a single golden dragon. One dragon equates to 1,000,000 combat power. A second-tier master possesses the might of 2 dragons. Inside the 10-layered cave of the Black Luo, a brilliant golden light began to radiate. As the golden dragon collided with the beasts, shattering their forms into pieces, a sight too gruesome to behold. Subsequently, Yinan employed other vital techniques, and the 2,000 beasts, akin to mere ants, could only await their inevitable demise in despair. In no time, the 2,000 beasts were all slain. Yinan commenced the reclamation of these beasts. Ding. Reclamation successful. 2. 7,000,000 essence stones. 500,000 cultivation talent stones. The 500,000 ability stones. Along with 2 medium-level fire talents and the master-level Yuan technique, the Celestial Dragon's Sacred Art have opened the gateway to a staggering 200-fold critical hit rate. A 150-fold critical hit is indeed remarkable, and the rewards from the recovery are nothing short of extraordinary. Moreover, with the acquisition of 2 medium-level fire talents, combined with his inherent medium-level fire talent, he is now capable of condensing them into a high-level fire talent. Yinan integrated the rewards from his recovery into his being. He has ascended to the 2nd rank of master. His medium-level speed talent has been upgraded to a high-level speed talent, and his medium-level defense talent has similarly evolved into a high-level defense talent. The medium-level fire talent has fused into a high-level fire talent, as Yinan anticipated. Once he broke through the constraints between a 9th-tier martial artist and a master, the path to advancement became significantly less arduous. The 7,000,000 stones he amassed facilitated his breakthrough to the 2nd rank of master. Upon achieving this new rank, he has acquired the power of 2 dragons, boasting a terrifying combat strength of 2,000,000. The master-level Yuan technique, the Celestial Dragon's Sacred Art, remained a mystery to him until he perused its description, which left him momentarily stunned. The Celestial Dragon's Sacred Art, a master-level Yuan technique comprising 9 realms, each realm containing 10 dragon powers, with each dragon power equating to 100,000 combat strength. 9 realms. This implies that upon reaching full mastery, he would possess 90 dragon powers, amounting to 9 million combat strength. This represents the foundational might of a 9th-tier master, now endowed with high-level speed and defense talents, bolstered by these formidable abilities. Yinan mused that once the celestial dragon's sacred art reaches full mastery, he may not be a match for a 9th-tier master, but below that tier, he would likely find no equal. He pondered that if those 90 dragon powers were the true golden dragon powers of a master, that would equate to an astounding 90 million combat strength. Now that would be truly formidable. However, the full mastery of the celestial dragon's sacred art is not easily attained. It requires personal cultivation. Yinan harbored no concerns, for his exceptional cultivation talent places him among the elite on Blue Star. This talent not only manifests in the rapid absorption and refinement of vital energy, but also significantly aids in the cultivation of yuan techniques and methods. Even though mastering the celestial dragon's sacred art will demand considerable time, it remains a time frame he can readily accept. As for Valen City, Yinan is not yet prepared to venture there. As merely a second-rank master, entering a city teeming with ferocious beasts would be tantamount to courting death. He intends to strengthen himself further before entering Valen City, where he can thoroughly reap the rewards. Emerging from the depths of the black Luo 10-layered cavern, Yinan was greeted by a group of somewhat familiar faces. This assembly comprised Master Huangqing and a dozen formidable martial artists. They had witnessed Yinan's triumph over the Blood Ant clan, yet he remained oblivious to their presence. At that time, Yinan had manifested as the Blood Demon Wolf, albeit with diminished strength, and Master Huang's group had concealed their aura, rendering him incapable of detection with his mental prowess. Is that you? One martial artist gazed at Yinan, astonishment etched across his features. Upon entering the cavern, Master Huangqing and the formidable warriors were taken aback to see Yinan. They were astonished that he dared to venture into the depths of the cave. Perceiving him merely as an inexperienced young martial artist, Huangqing and the dozen or so great warriors stood momentarily stunned, unable to fathom that Yinan had not only entered the cave, but had ventured deep within and scathed. This revelation prompted a reconsideration of many assumptions. Young brother, are there ferocious beasts within this cavern? Huangqing inquired, convinced that such a vast expanse must harbor numerous predators. Oh, I just emerged from there. There are not many ferocious beasts left, as I have vanquished most of them, replied Yinan. He spoke of slaying the beasts without concern, for it was a commonplace feat among martial artists. However, divulging the details of his retrieval of the beasts and the myriad rewards he had earned would likely lead to complications. For instance, a 7th-grade master might capture him and report to the Extreme Path Alliance, which could escalate matters to the Dragon Kingdom. If the Dragon Kingdom sent representatives to take him away, he might find himself subjected to relentless scrutiny. In Blue Star, while the number of powerful beings is limited, Yinan is not singularly unique. Thus, even with his potential to become the mightiest warrior on Blue Star, the higher echelons would likely remain indifferent. On the surface, the nations of Blue Star have united against the ferocious beasts, yet many martial artists are motivated by self-interest. As the saying goes, if one does not act for oneself, one invites disaster. Consequently, it is prudent to keep the existence of his system to himself. The Black Luo Cave consists of 10 levels. Though the mental prowess of a master is formidable, it cannot extend to the 2nd level. Huangqing had already sensed the lingering scent of blood from the beasts in the 1st level of the Black Luo Cave. Nodding at Yinan, Huangqing continued. Prior to this, we conducted an exploration of the cave, and the strongest concentration of ferocious beasts is located in a grand city of beasts. Listen closely, everyone. While the beast city we previously observed indeed resembles the scale of a grand beast city, do not forget that we witnessed the blood demon celestial wolf within this cavern. Huangqing informed the great warriors. The warriors nodded. The sight of the blood demon celestial wolf had genuinely frightened them. Even a leader would find it impossible to survive in the presence of such a creature. You saw the blood demon celestial wolf? Yinan inquired, taken aback. Where did you see it? Huangqing provided a rough location, prompting Yinan to exhale inwardly. He had feared there might be more blood demon celestial wolves within the cave, only to realize it was the one he had encountered. The grand city of beasts is still quite distant from our current position. Let us each scout the surrounding area for any additional concentrations of ferocious beasts before we depart the passage. Understood. A group of over a dozen formidable warriors, divided into trios, embarked on a quest to locate the lair of the ferocious beasts. Chapter 16, Master-Level Beast, the Azure Blood Demon. Huangqing and his companions entered the cavern with the intent of assessing its level, refraining from hunting the beasts within unless absolutely necessary. Their primary focus was to secure the passageways of the cave. On Blue Star, there exists an abundance of caverns, teeming with countless ferocious creatures. Some caverns are interconnected, And should this particular cavern fail to reveal the blood demon wolf, they might consider reporting to the Extreme Tao Alliance for its annihilation. However, upon discovering the formidable blood demon wolf, such a course of action became untenable. Should they exhaust the resources of the Jiangnan base city to eradicate this cavern, and a new type of cavern were to materialize elsewhere within Jiangnan, it would undoubtedly spell disaster for the city. Yinan accompanied two powerful warriors in search of the beast's gathering place, feeling reassured by the considerable distance from Valen City, thus alleviating concerns of threats from that direction. As for the master-level martial technique, the Celestial Dragon's sacred art, Yinan resolved to practice it only after exiting the cavern. Yinan, your audacity is quite remarkable for someone so young, daring to venture into the cavern, remarked one of the warriors. By the way, you must be a prodigious talent. Having penetrated this deep, the two formidable warriors beside Yinan were named Shiqing and Lingu, both robust 9th-tier warriors. Yinan, what is your realm? Shiqing inquired. I suspect you have attained elite warrior status. Surely you jest. I believe you are at the pinnacle of elite warriors, Lingu countered, leading to a lively debate between them regarding Yinan's prowess. Among the younger generation of warriors, the disparity in cultivation talent and resources can result in significant differences in their realms. For instance, individuals of Yifeng's age may not even reach the 1st-tier warrior level, while others may achieve 7th or even 8th-tier status. Ultimately, it all hinges on innate talent and the resources available for cultivation. Yinan merely smiled and remained silent. There was no need to disclose his true mastery unless absolutely necessary. Was it merely to astonish them? As a time traveler, he found such revelations unnecessary. Shiqing and Lingu, perceiving the smile on Yinan's face, understood that although he had not divulged his true realm, their suspicions were confirmed. Yinan was indeed an elite warrior. With your talent, why not venture to Jiangnan base city? Simply pass the assessment, and you could enter. Jiangnan is a paradise for warriors, they suggested, having learned that Yinan was a resident of the Anyang River source community. Yinan found these discussions trivial. As long as no secrets were involved, casual conversation was welcome. He gleaned valuable information from Shiqing and Lingu, such as Jiangnan base city being a bustling metropolis with energy-activated vehicles, energy towers, and places to undertake missions. When I have the time, I shall visit Jiangnan base city. Yinan mused. He certainly did not intend to linger in Anyang. Shiqing and Lingu exchanged a knowing smile, convinced that a genius like Yinan would find his best prospects at the Jiangnan base city. Remaining in a small locale like Anqing would only squander his talents, preventing him from ever becoming a formidable warrior. As they conversed, Shiqing and Lingu abruptly halted, their bodies trembling as an overwhelming, soul-chilling aura manifested, disrupting the very air around them. Terror was etched across their faces. Cackling humans. An icy, sinister laughter echoed in their ears. The ability to articulate human speech could only belong to a beast of master-level prowess. Yinan sensed the terrifying aura and the chilling voice, yet as a 2nd-tier master, he assessed that the creature emanating such a frosty laugh was no match for him. He focused his gaze ahead. A fierce beast materialized 100 meters away. This creature was entirely jet black, not particularly large in stature, yet emanated an undeniable strength, its crimson eyes glinting with malevolence, and its head adorned with repulsive, blood-filled blisters. The blue-blooded demon. Shiqing and Lingu exclaimed in unison. This beast was indeed a master-level entity. The blue-blooded demon, master-level beast. Abilities, superior strength ability, moderate defensive ability. The information about this beast flashed across Yinan's retina. Truly, a master-level beast lived up to its reputation, boasting both superior strength and moderate defensive capabilities. Run quickly, Shiqing and Lingu urged as they fled with haste. If they had any chance of confronting the blue-blooded demon, they would not have chosen to retreat in such a disheveled manner. However, as mere 9th-tier warriors, they stood no chance against a master-level beast. After sprinting several dozen paces, they noticed that Yinan remained resolute, standing still as a statue. Yinan, what are you doing? Run, Shiqing shouted desperately. Listening to Shiqing's voice, Yinan reflected on the kindness of this world towards geniuses, appreciating how they could save themselves while fleeing. An admirable gesture indeed. Run? How can you escape? The blue-blooded demon cackled menacingly, advancing toward Yinan. It was the end. Shiqing and Lingu realized that Yinan was doomed. Yet, as the beast closed in, a golden aura enveloped Yinan's body. Golden energy. Shiqing and Lingu barely had time to register their shock when two golden dragons coiled around Yinan. Boom. The dragons surged forth toward the oncoming blue-blooded demon, leaving massive fissures in the ground and causing the very fabric of space to tear apart, with fierce winds swirling backward. The blue-blooded demon gazed in horror at the incoming dragons. A human master. The Azure Blood Demon Beast possesses only strength and defensive abilities, lacking any speed-related powers, rendering it incapable of evasion at such a distance. With a thunderous crash, the might of the two dragons struck the beast's body. The Azure Blood Demon Beast crashed to the ground, its azure blood pooling around it. Hiss! Shurqing and Lin Gu gasped in shock, their mouths agape. As if struck by lightning. A second-tier master. They had anticipated Yi Nan's strength to be formidable, yet they had gravely underestimated it. Could it be that Yi Nan is a master? How is that even conceivable? Nevertheless, Shurqing and Lin Gu recognized that their eyes had not deceived them. There shouldn't be any ferocious beasts gathering here. You should return, Yi Nan said, casting a sidelong glance at Shurqing and Lin Gu. They nodded in a daze. Hurry. What are you waiting for? Yi Nan urged as they lingered. Finally, Shurqing and Lin Gu regained their senses. A master at such a young age? They had never even heard of such a phenomenon before. Exchanging glances, they swallowed hard and departed from the scene. Chapter 17. Low-level wind affinity. After Shurqing and Lin Gu left, Yi Nan gazed upon the corpse of the Azure Blood Demon Beast and chose to recover it. Ding. Recovery successful. 2 million yuan stones. 600,000 cultivation affinity stones. 600,000 ability affinity stones. Low-level wind affinity. 300-fold critical hit unlocked. Yi Nan felt a swell of joy. Indeed, a master-level ferocious beast was worthy of its title, as just one yielded 2 million yuan stones. Originally, the critical hit multiplier was 200 times, but it had surged directly to 300 times. He had expected only a 50-fold increase. He proceeded to merge the recovery rewards. The low-level wind affinity transformed into a mid-level wind affinity. It appeared that ability affinities could also be upgraded using ability stones. The previous affinity was too formidable for an upgrade, hence the fire affinity had remained stagnant. Now, aside from the wind affinity, all other ability affinities had elevated to a high level, which was the pinnacle on Blue Star. He decided not to linger further and made his way towards the cave passage, prioritizing his departure from the cave to diligently cultivate the heavenly dragon's sacred art. Meanwhile, Master Huangqing and two formidable warriors were preparing to explore other ferocious beast gathering sites when Master Huang contemplated something. Let us investigate the cave. The cave he referred to was, of course, the Black Luo 10-layer cave. Upon entering the first layer, Huangqing and the two warriors sensed the lingering scent of blood in the air, yet they found no remnants of ferocious beast corpses. Master Huang, where are the corpses of the beasts? The two formidable warriors stood in a daze, surveying their surroundings, yet they found no remains of the ferocious beasts within. Even if Yi Nan had vanquished all the beasts, there should still be carcasses present. Not only were these two warriors perplexed, but Master Huangqing also grappled with the enigma. Perhaps Yi Nan possessed some extraordinary ability that allowed him to dissolve the bodies of these beasts, he pondered. The two warriors nodded in agreement, as this explanation seemed the only plausible one. They continued deeper into the cave. Master Huangqing, is there a passageway within the cave? One of the warriors exclaimed in astonishment, pointing toward the path ahead. There must be more wonders within, let us venture forth. Thus, Master Huangqing and the two warriors proceeded toward the cave passage. Moments later, they entered the second level of the Black Luo cave. The second level was eerily similar, with the air thick with the scent of ferocious beast blood, yet devoid of any corpses. The stench here was far more terrifying, and logically, the number of beasts should surpass that of the previous chamber. Let us delve further and see if there are any more passages, Master Huangqing suggested. As they ascended to the third, fourth, and fifth levels, the two warriors grew increasingly astonished. Master Huangqing, do you believe all the beasts in these caves have been slain by Yi Nan? If so, how immensely powerful must he be? One of them remarked. I cannot ascertain the full extent of Yi Nan's strength, but it is evident that he possesses remarkable talent in fire manipulation, Master Huangqing replied. He surmised that the absence of beast corpses in the cave was undoubtedly due to Yi Nan's fiery prowess. There must not be any more passages. Given the multitude of caves and the unknown number of ferocious beasts within, Yi Nan is truly formidable, the two warriors concluded. Recognizing that Yi Nan appeared to be merely in his 20s. Even if he were a genius, such youth could scarcely signify the strength of a powerful warrior. From the first to the sixth level of the Black Luo cave, their previous assumptions had been thoroughly challenged. Let us explore further. Who knows what other passages may lie ahead? Master Huangqing mused, unable to quell the tumult within him, as he had not anticipated Yi Nan's extraordinary strength. Upon reaching the passage connecting the sixth and seventh levels, the two warriors stood agape. There was indeed another passage leading deeper into the cave. They ventured into the seventh level, then the eighth, and finally the ninth. Even Huangqing was rendered speechless by the unfolding revelation. Just how powerful is Yi Nan? He pondered. Based on the intensity of the blood odor emanating from the 9th level, it was evident that a significant number of beasts resided there. Let us not be overly astonished. It is conceivable that Yinan may not be the sole contributor to this carnage. Perhaps a powerful warrior entered the cave before us. After all, we never anticipated the emergence of the blood demon wolf within these depths. Master Huangqing addressed the two warriors. They found merit in his reasoning. They have entered the 10th level. Unlike their previous astonishment after witnessing Yinan slay the ferocious beast within the cave, they now proceeded deeper into the 10th level without discovering any new cavern passages. Let us exit, one suggested. Very well. Master Huangqing and two formidable warriors emerged from the Heluo cave. Upon their exit, they encountered Shiqing and Lin Ge. Master Huangqing. Shiqing and Lin Ge hurriedly called out to him, hastening to his side. Where's Yinan? Huangqing inquired, noticing Yinan's absence, his expression tinged with curiosity. Master Huangqing. Yinan is a second-grade master, Shiqing stammered, his voice quivering. Evidently still haunted by the scene of Yinan effortlessly annihilating the Qing Shui demon beast. Indeed, Master Huangqing, while we were searching for the congregation of ferocious beasts, we encountered a Qing Shui demon beast, and Yinan dispatched it with ease. We witnessed it clearly. Yinan possesses the power of 2 dragons. Lin Ge eagerly added. The two formidable warriors beside Huangqing were struck dumb, frozen in disbelief, their astonishment reaching new heights. Yinan is a master? Does that mean the ferocious beasts within the cave were truly vanquished by him? The two warriors felt as though their strength had been sapped, staggering back a few steps. Their faces etched with shock. Huangqing, too, was rendered speechless. Yinan is a master? How old is he? Where is Yinan? Regaining his composure, Huangqing queried Shi and Lin Ge. He should still be there. Upon learning that Yinan is a master, we rushed to report to you, Shiqing replied. Lead the way, Huangqing exclaimed, filled with excitement. Such a young master heralds unimaginable future achievements. A prodigy of this caliber has emerged within the confines of Jiangnan Bay City. Shiqing and Lin Ge guided Huangqing and the others back to their previous location. Yet they found no trace of Yinan, just as they were at a loss for how to locate Yinan. Shiqing suddenly recalled something and eagerly said to Huangqing, Master Huangqing, Yinan is from the Heyuan community. It is possible that he has returned home. Chapter 18. The master arrives at Heyuan community. Yinan arrived at the cave passage, returning to In-City. The area surrounding the In-City cave passage was under the strict control of warriors and military personnel, and upon seeing Yinan emerge from the cave, they displayed mild astonishment. However, they did not inquire further, as they were aware that a group of formidable individuals had entered the cave. Yinan returned to the Heyuan community. The residents of In-City were already aware of the cave passage's emergence, and for the past few days, fear had gripped their hearts, leaving doors tightly shut. The Heyuan community was devoid of any signs of life. Upon returning home, Yinan found that his bed had been reclaimed. His house was now bare of even a bed. Yet he had no intention of residing in the Heyuan community for long. Yinan resolved to seek a secluded spot to cultivate the heavenly dragon sacred art. Anqing, devoid of mountains, was surrounded by residential buildings. After much contemplation, Yinan decided to practice the heavenly dragon sacred art on the rooftop of his apartment complex. Upon reaching the rooftop, he took a deep breath, preparing to commence his training. He began to unleash punches into the void, each strike infused with golden vitality. His fists surged with an imposing aura, each blow seemingly capable of producing a sonic boom. 1 punch, 2 punches, 3 punches. Yinan had no idea how many blows he had thrown, yet he had yet to condense a single strand of dragon power. He believed that only through combat could he better refine the heavenly dragon sacred art. A day later, a strand of dragon power finally coalesced. The dragon power activated by the heavenly dragon sacred art possessed a mere combat strength of 100,000. Though feeble, it was important to remember that the heavenly dragon sacred art encompassed 9 realms, summoning a total of 90 strands of dragon power, which would equate to a staggering combat strength of 9 million. Master Huangqing and a dozen formidable warriors emerged from the subterranean passage onto the surface of Anqing. The martial artist from the Jiangnan Bay City promptly approached Huangqing and his companions, inquiring about the circumstances within the underground realm. However, the situation underground was trivial compared to the state of Anqing's martial artists. Huangqing questioned one of the warriors, "What of the martial artists in Anqing?" The warriors, somewhat puzzled by Huangqing's inquiry, refrained from asking further. One of them responded, "I shall summon the city lord of Anqing at once." With that, he departed towards a designated location. Before long, the city lord of Anqing, Shi Yunhu, arrived before Master Huangqing. With utmost respect, Shi Yunhu greeted him and inquired, "Master Huangqing, you summoned me?" Anqing was indeed quite small, The most powerful warrior was none other than the city lord, Shi Yunhu, who was merely a 7th-tier martial artist. There existed a chasm between 7th-tier warriors and masters. You are the Lord of Anqing? Huang Qing asked. Yes, Master Huang Qing. I am Shi Yunhu, the city lord replied hastily. Do you know the whereabouts of Yinan? Yinan. Shi Yunhu pondered this name for a moment, realizing he had never heard of anyone by that name. Master Huang Qing. Who is this Yinan you speak of? Huang Qing was momentarily taken aback. From Shi Qing and Lin Go, he had learned that Yinan was a resident of the Heiyuan community in Anqing. Logically, one would expect someone of Yinan's stature to be renowned in such a small locale. Was it possible that Yinan was simply modest? After some reflection, Huang Qing concluded that Yinan was indeed quite unassuming. Please, lead us to the Heiyuan community. Certainly. Though Shi Yunhu was unaware of who Yinan was, he was well acquainted with the location of the Heiyuan community. Thus, he guided Huang Qing and the dozen formidable warriors towards their destination. Upon arriving at the Heiyuan community, Huang Qing and his companions stood before its entrance. Shi Yunhu discovered that the Heiyuan community was utterly deserted. He turned to Huang Qing and said, Master Huang, please wait a moment. With that, Shi Yunhu stepped into the Heiyuan community. Although the Blue Star was in an era of cold weapons, certain amenities were still retained. For instance, the community was equipped with a public announcement system. In Blue Star, every neighborhood had such systems installed, allowing property management to notify residents in times of danger. Shi Yunhu entered the broadcasting room, where a man was lazily resting his chin on his hand. The sound of the door opening startled him awake, and as he prepared to express his irritation, he caught sight of the visitor. A chill shot up from his tailbone to the crown of his head. The city lord. The man exclaimed in shock, stumbling back 3 steps before falling onto the ground. He could never have anticipated that the city lord would come here. Shi Yunhu ignored the man, approaching the broadcasting equipment. He announced, residents of Heiyuan community, the underground cave has been secured by the powerful individuals from Jiangnan Base City. It won't be long before they enter the cave passage to guard it, so there is no need to worry about ferocious beasts appearing. Therefore, it is unnecessary for everyone to remain cooped up at home. Master Huang Qing and the esteemed warriors have arrived in our Heiyuan community. Let us all come out to welcome them. The man in the broadcasting room was the first to react. Upon hearing the name Master Huang Qing, he felt as if he had been struck by lightning. His eyes widened uncontrollably, and his mouth gaped open, as if he had heard the most astonishing news. Who would have imagined that such a distinguished master would visit the Heiyuan community? The residents, who had been staying indoors, were equally stirred. The Heiyuan community was a residential area for the families of warriors, and they already held a natural admiration for these fighters. Upon learning that Master Huang Qing and the esteemed warriors were coming to their community, their excitement reached a fever pitch. The master is coming to our community? Huh. With the master here, what do we have to fear from the ferocious beasts? Let us go out and welcome the master and the esteemed warriors. In no time, residents poured out of their homes, and soon the Heiyuan community was bustling with people. Master Huang Qing, these residents are the families of the warriors from Anqing. Shi Yunhu informed Huang Qing. The residents gazed at Master Huang Qing and the dozen or so formidable warriors with awe and admiration etched on their faces. Is this the might of a true master? Unlike Huaxiao, where one might easily gather information about a renowned figure online, in Blue Star, everyone knew a saying, a master must not be insulted. Master, a martial arts master. Did Master Huang Qing come here for him? Yinan pondered for a few moments before leaving the rooftop, eager to understand the situation. Greetings, Master Huang Qing addressed the gathered residents. Do you know Yinan? A wave of astonishment swept through the Heiyuan community. Master Huang Qing's words struck them like a thunderclap. Yinan. Of course, they knew Yinan. Yinan's parents were warriors from Anqing, who bravely perished on the battlefield, making significant contributions to the city. What puzzled the residents of Heiyuan community was why a formidable master would seek out Yinan. Master, are you referring to our Yinan? A girl, of similar age to Yinan, suddenly recalled something and quickly spoke to Master Huang Qing. That day, my boyfriend and I returned home, and he decided to test his combat power, only to discover that Yinan exhibited over 4,000 combat power. The residents of the community were taken aback once again. I remember when Yinan tested his cultivation talent. He was said to possess none. Indeed, although I hadn't paid much attention to the boy, I knew he lacked any cultivation talent. It's true, my boyfriend and I were utterly astonished. We never anticipated that Yinan was a genius. The Lord of Anqing, Shi Yunhu, was also stunned. Over 4,000 combat power. No wonder Master Huang Qing and the esteemed warriors came to Heiyuan community. It turns out a talented warrior has emerged here. With this realization, Shi Yunhu exclaimed, Master Huang Qing, have you come to find me? Suddenly, a voice resonated in the ears of everyone present. The residents of Heiyuan community turned in unison to behold the newcomer, their expressions frozen in disbelief. Yinan. It's Yinan. They parted to create a path. Yinan approached Huangqing and a dozen formidable warriors. Warrior. Shi Yunhu gazed at Yinan, utterly astonished. He had not anticipated that Yinan was the esteemed warrior. Had it not been for this warrior during the emergence of ferocious beasts in Anqing, the city would have fallen to the beasts before reinforcements from Jiangnan base city could arrive. Master Yinan. Huangqing extended his hand toward Yinan. My heavens! The residents of the community were struck dumb, their mouths agape, rendered motionless in shock. Master Yinan? They were certain they had not misheard. Huangqing referred to Yinan as Master Yinan. Yinan is a master? The residents stood as if carved from wood. Unable to recover from the revelation that Yinan was a master, this news was simply explosive. The girl who had first reported Yinan's combat power, her face pale, reflected on how she once thought Yinan was pitiable. Now, discovering that he was a master left her questioning her own worth. Her boyfriend, seemingly drained of all strength, nearly collapsed to the ground. Yinan extended his hand, grasping Huangqing's. Master Huangqing, what brings you to seek me? It is thus that Huangqing, with a smile directed at Yinan, remarked, with your remarkable talents, I believe you are squandering your potential in Anqing. Therefore, I invite you to join the Extreme Path Alliance. Yinan shook his head, responding, not for the time being. I have no desire to align myself with any faction. To join a power means to be bound, and presently, it seems unnecessary. Astonishment swept over the residents of Heiyuan community. They had never anticipated Yinan's refusal. The Extreme Path Alliance is indeed the most formidable force in Jiangnan base city. Yinan, you must consider this carefully, Huangqing began. But he found himself at a loss for words. It is true that the Extreme Path Alliance holds immense power. Yet there was nothing within it that could entice Yinan. Although the alliance boasts many powerful martial arts schools, Yinan is already a master. Thus, the alliance possesses little in the way of resources to nurture someone of his caliber. Huangqing chose not to elaborate further, feeling it prudent to return and report this matter to the alliance leader for further guidance. Master Yinan, since this is your decision, I shall say no more. I will return to Jiangnan base city to inform the leader about the situation in the underground. With that, Huangqing extended his hand, and Yinan clasped it in a firm handshake. Very well, Yinan replied with a nod. After Huangqing and a dozen formidable warriors departed, the residents of Heiyuan community erupted in chatter once more. Yinan, although you are a master, you hail from our Heiyuan community. I shall address you by your name. And I hope you do not take offense. Not at all, he replied. Back then, your mother even played mahjong with me. By the way, Aunt Zhang has a daughter. She is beautiful and has a sweet voice, around your age. Have you considered it? Not really. I am not looking to date at the moment. Yinan responded with a wry smile. Come now, Master Yinan, my daughter is truly wonderful. You should give it some thought, even after marriage. It won't hinder your cultivation. And when you have children, I would gladly help take care of them. The community's matrons, eager not to miss the opportunity to promote their single daughters to Yinan, enthusiastically advocated on their behalf. I have some matters to attend to, so I must take my leave. He hastily ascended the stairs. Yinan never imagined he would face such a scene. Indeed, having strength has its advantages. The residents, witnessing Yinan retreat upstairs, refrained from pursuing him. They were keen not to alienate him, recognizing the importance of moderation in their enthusiasm. At that moment, a girl stormed into Heiyuan community, glaring at a boy as she shouted, Zhang San, did you not say you would come to my house today? I can't believe you deceived me. Do you have any idea how frightened I was walking here alone? Xiao Wei, I have some thrilling news to share. Our community has produced a master. Zhang San hurried to the girl's side, excitement evident in his voice. You are still lying to me. Indeed, a master has emerged from our community. The girl's pupils dilated in disbelief as she gazed at Zhang San. I have always appreciated your ambition and honesty, never suspecting you would deceive me repeatedly. How disappointing. With that, she turned on her heel and walked away. I truly never lied. Zhang San lamented, tears welling in his eyes as he hastily pursued her. Meanwhile, Yinan, who had just ascended to the second floor, overheard the exchange between Zhang San and Xiao Wei and shook his head with a smile. Zhang San, a lawless rogue. Without further thought, he made his way to the rooftop to continue his practice of the heavenly dragon sacred art. Thud, thud, thud. Once on the rooftop, Yinan unleashed a series of powerful punches into the air. Each strike sent a gust of wind rippling through the space, causing it to tremble, while golden vitality illuminated the entire rooftop. 3 days later, Yinan had harnessed the power of 5 dragons. How arduous this journey has been. He pondered the time and effort required to master this art. Yet, upon reflection, he felt a sense of gratitude. The path of cultivation is inherently challenging. And thanks to the system, he had achieved the rank of master in an astonishingly brief period. On another front, Master Huang Qing had returned to the Jiangnan base city. Without pausing for rest, he was determined to relay this significant news to the alliance leader. Upon arriving at the headquarters of the Extreme Path Alliance, Huang Qing sought out leader Su Yuan. How did the investigation of the underground cavern in Anqing proceed? Su Yuan inquired. Leader, the scale of the Anqing cavern should not harbor ferocious beasts of the blood demon sky wolf caliber, Huang Qing replied. We have gathered comprehensive insights from our exploration of the Anqing cavern. The most formidable beasts congregate in a central stronghold. It is perplexing why such powerful creatures as the blood demon sky wolf would be present, Huang Qing continued. Su Yuan pondered for a moment before responding. Perhaps the Anqing cavern is connected to a more formidable underground, which would explain the presence of such formidable beasts. Huang Qing nodded in agreement. It appeared to be the only plausible explanation. Leader, there is one more matter. What is it? Su Yuan inquired, curiosity piqued. A prodigious talent has emerged in Anqing. A master who has attained the second rank at just over 20 years of age. While what? Su Yuan gasped, his astonishment palpable. A second-rank master at such a tender age? After a prolonged silence, he composed himself and looked at Huang Qing. Is what you say true? Indeed, leader, Huang Qing affirmed, recounting all he knew about Yinan. I invited Yinan to join the Extreme Path Alliance, but he declined. You are still too young, Su Yuan remarked. Gazing at Huang Qing, do you not realize what a young master signifies? What do you mean, leader? Huang Qing asked, testing the waters. We shall visit Anqing. I will personally extend an invitation to him, Su Yuan declared. Dear friend, personally inviting you has left Huang Qing astonished. The leader's stature is unparalleled. Being the head of the Extreme Path Alliance, a first-tier grandmaster, and the most formidable warrior in the Jiangnan base city. When shall we depart, esteemed leader? Now. But leader, I have just returned from a long journey and have yet to rest. Huang Qing, gazing into the eyes of leader Su Yuan, dared not utter another word. Silently lamenting his plight. It was I who ventured to the depths of Incity twice, and now it is still I who must guide the leader. Why must I always bear the brunt of the burden? Reluctantly, Huang Qing led leader Su Yuan towards Incity. The power of 8 dragons. Yinan wiped the sweat from his brow, a smile emerging upon his face. Yinan. A male voice called out to him. Turning around, Yinan recognized the boy from the neighborhood, the same one he encountered during his power assessment at the Heiyuan community. Duyan, what brings you here? While not particularly close, they were not strangers either, often exchanging greetings in passing. I feel my combat prowess is improving slowly. Do you have any methods to expedite this process? Duyan looked at Yinan with hopeful eyes. Training requires a steady and methodical approach. Attempting to leap to greatness is futile, Yinan replied, shaking his head at Duyan. Duyan nodded emphatically, Master Yinan. I believe I will soon achieve the rank of a first-tier warrior. He understood that his talent for cultivation was modest. He may not become a formidable warrior, but he was certainly better than some. Thank you, Master Yinan. I will strive to train harder. Your words have inspired me greatly. With that, Duyan departed from the rooftop. Yinan pondered. I didn't say anything at all. He watched Duyan's retreating figure, bewildered. He had suggested a steady approach to training, aware of Duyan's lack of resources and limited ability to enhance his power quickly. Yet it seemed to have profoundly inspired him. Su Yuan and Huang Qing had now entered Incity, making their way to the vicinity of the Incity underground. After surveying the underground passage and confirming its safety, they proceeded towards the Heiyuan community. Upon arriving at the base of the Heiyuan community, Su Yuan pointed upward. Huang Qing. Look. Following Su Yuan's gaze, Huang Qing noticed a brilliant golden light emanating from the rooftop of a residential building. It appeared that Yinan was practicing a form of elemental technique above, reflecting on their previous visit to Heiyuan community with several grandmasters. Huang Qing recalled that Yinan had also been training on the rooftop, but at that time, they had missed the golden light due to a brief respite. Truly a grandmaster, Su Yuan exclaimed with excitement. He fully understood the significance of a grandmaster in their 20s. Witnessing it firsthand was reassuring. Master, grandmaster. In the Huayuan community, the residents were taken aback upon spotting Su Yuan and Huang Qing, astonished that the esteemed Master Huang would grace their neighborhood once again. Everyone come out. The master is back. Several residents shouted with enthusiasm. The sound echoed through the homes, prompting those inside to rush out, their excitement palpable upon confirming the master's presence. Master, your visit this time is surely to seek out Master Yinan, isn't it? Huang Qing nodded in affirmation. On the rooftop, Yinan heard the commotion and understood that Huang Qing had come for him. He descended to meet them. Master, Yinan has arrived. A voice resounded among the residents. They looked at him with immense pride, for Yinan was one of their own, and they basked in the glory that his mastery brought to their community. Master Huang Qing, you seek me, Yinan began, but before he could finish, information about Su Yuan flashed before his eyes. Name, Su Yuan rank. First class Grandmaster cultivation talent. Super special ability. Advanced strength talent. Medium sword talent. Yinan was secretly astonished. The name Su Yuan was well known across the cities of the Jiangnan Bay City, for he was the leader of the Extreme Path Alliance. Coupled with his status as a first-class Grandmaster, it was clear to Yi Nan that he was in the presence of the Alliance's esteemed leader. Master Yi Nan. This is the leader of the Extreme Path Alliance. He wishes to meet you, Huang Qing announced. While Yi Nan was aware of Su Yuan's identity, the residents were not. Upon hearing Huang Qing's words, they gasped in collective shock, as if struck by lightning. Could it be that such a prominent figure had come to their community? Greetings. Master Yi Nan, Su Yuan said, offering a warm smile as he shook Yi Nan's hand. This is not the place for discussion. Understanding the implication, Yi Nan gestured for them to follow him, leading Su Yuan and Huang Qing to his home. Master Yi Nan, your abode is quite modest, Huang Qing remarked as he surveyed the simple decor. After a moment of admiration for Yi Nan's unassuming residence, he took a seat. Please, make yourselves comfortable, Yi Nan invited. And once they were seated, he turned to Su Yuan. What brings you here, esteemed leader? I have traveled personally from Jiangnan Bay City to Anqing for one sole purpose, to invite you to join the Extreme Path Alliance, Su Yuan replied. Indeed. As Yi Nan had previously anticipated, after showcasing his prowess, these formidable factions would only seek to recruit him. Master Su Yuan. I believe I am not yet inclined to join any faction. Yi Nan once again declined Su Yuan's offer. Su Yuan smiled, showing no sign of disappointment at Yi Nan's refusal. Yi Nan, the Extreme Path Alliance is merely an alliance. There is rarely any obligation. Once you join, no one will bind you. You will inevitably venture to the Jiangnan Bay City, and joining the Extreme Path Alliance will provide you with a place to reside. Su Yuan continued. Yi Nan fell silent. His reluctance to join any faction stemmed from a desire for freedom. However, Su Yuan's words did seem rather appealing. Very well. Ultimately, Yi Nan nodded in agreement. If joining the Extreme Path Alliance entailed no troublesome obligations, why not embrace the opportunity? Excellent. Su Yuan exclaimed with enthusiasm upon Yi Nan's acceptance. I have a few matters to attend to. When you arrive at Jiangnan Bay City, simply seek me out. Su Yuan and Huang Qing rose from the sofa. All right. Yi Nan appreciated their decisive manner, free from unnecessary delays. After they shook hands once more, they departed from the Heiyuan community. Yi Nan pondered for a few seconds, feeling quite positive about the decision. The following day, Yi Nan exited the Heiyuan community. Practicing the Heavenly Dragon's sacred art on the rooftop was proving to be exceedingly slow. He believed that to enhance his cultivation speed, breakthroughs must occur in combat. He was not prepared to venture into the Anqing underground. It was time to travel to Jiangnan Bay City. To reach Jiangnan Bay City, one must undergo an assessment at the outer city before entering the inner city. The inner city is the true Jiangnan Bay City. Several days later, Yi Nan arrived at the outer city of Jiangnan Bay City. The outer city was populated by martial artists and military personnel, guarding the defensive line of Jiangnan Bay City. Yi Nan arrived at the assessment agency. Entering the agency, he found that gaining entry into Jiangnan Bay City was straightforward. Any martial artist was permitted entry. A staff member escorted Yi Nan to an all-encompassing detection device. This device could assess a martial artist's strength, speed, and mental response. Yi Nan suppressed his true capabilities, ensuring that he could easily pass the test with minimal effort. Fourth-grade martial artist? The staff member gazed in astonishment at the data displayed on the detection device. Achieving fourth-grade status at Yi Nan's age was quite remarkable. And considering he was not from Jiangnan Bay City, it left the staff member utterly astounded. After processing, the staff member presented Yi Nan with a resident card, akin to an ID card in Huaxia. With this resident card, he was now a citizen of Jiangnan Bay City. Upon completion, the staff member bowed respectfully, exclaiming, Esteemed martial artist, I wish you a bright future. The refinement of a big city is indeed unparalleled, thought Yi Nan to himself. Holding his resident card, he emerged from the assessment agency and noticed several energy-driven taxis. The cost of these taxis was exorbitantly high, far beyond the means of an ordinary person. They were all owned by the major conglomerates in the Jiangnan Bay City. Yi Nan boarded one of the taxis. Aware that the distance from the outer city to the inner city was considerable, despite his masterful speed surpassing that of the taxi, he yearned to experience the sensation of an energy-driven vehicle. As the taxi entered the inner city, towering skyscrapers surrounded him, evoking a sense of nostalgia reminiscent of his homeland. Huaxia. This feeling was profoundly familiar. Young man, you only mentioned the inner city earlier. Now we have arrived, said the driver. Let us head to the Extreme Path Alliance. Having already consented to join the alliance, Yi Nan was eager to explore. The driver, an ordinary person, regarded the Extreme Path Alliance as a colossal entity. Upon learning of Yi Nan's destination, he immediately expressed respect. So, you are a martial artist, my lord, he said with a smile, accelerating towards the alliance. Jiangnan Base City was vast, and after a considerable time, the taxi finally reached the exterior of the Extreme Path Alliance. After paying, Yinan exited the vehicle. Outside the alliance, several martial artist guards stood watch, all possessing at least 5th-tier strength. As he approached, one guard blocked his path. Please show your identification. Oh, could you kindly inform your superior that Yinan has arrived? Yinan replied. The guards were taken aback, their eyes wide with astonishment. They recalled the leader had mentioned a person named Yinan would be arriving and instructed them to grant him immediate entry. They had expected Yinan to be a formidable martial artist, but were surprised to see such a youth. Master Yinan, the leader has instructed us to allow you entry upon your arrival, one of the guards said respectfully. Very well, Yinan nodded, stepping into the Extreme Path Alliance. Upon entering, majestic and imposing buildings greeted him, and in the plaza stood a massive, dark stone bell emanating an aura of terror. Master Yinan. A joyful voice reached his ears. Huang Qing appeared not far from him, his face alight with excitement. He hastily approached Yinan. I didn't expect you to arrive so soon. Let us go meet the leader. With that, Huang Qing led Yinan towards the leader's hall. Upon their arrival, Leader Su Yuan, noticing Yinan's entrance into the Grand Hall, was filled with joy. Yinan, it is truly wonderful to see you here at the Extreme Path Alliance. Su Yuan exclaimed, stepping forward to pat Yinan on the shoulder. Rest assured, Yinan, the words I spoke in the Heiyuan community were all sincere. Despite your affiliation with the Extreme Path Alliance, you remain unbound, free from constraints. Thank you. Yinan smiled at the leader, Su Yuan. After conversing extensively with Su Yuan in the Grand Hall, Master Huang Qing guided Yinan through the Extreme Path Alliance. Aside from the intriguing black stone bell in the square, nothing else piqued his interest. Master Huang Qing, what purpose does this stone bell serve? Yinan paused, gazing at the black stone bell in the square, inquiring of Huang Qing. Chapter 22, The Purple Gold Institution, A-Level Mission. This is the Demon Suppression Bell. The Demon Suppression Bell? Yinan expressed surprise. Merely hearing its name indicated it was no ordinary object. Indeed, the Demon Suppression Bell contains numerous formidable beasts beneath it. Huang Qing affirmed with a nod. If it can suppress them, why not eliminate them outright? Yinan questioned, puzzled. There's no need. Those beasts cannot escape. The ones beneath the Demon Suppression Bell were subdued by the leader in the past, Huang Qing explained. Yinan grasped the implications. Perhaps he could find a way to utilize the Demon Suppression Bell. How powerful are the beasts inside? They are all at the master level, with some being top-tier master-level beasts. Yinan reconsidered his initial plan, deciding it wise to strengthen himself further before venturing into the Demon Suppression Bell. Master Huang Qing, isn't there a place in Jiangnan Base City for undertaking missions? Completing missions could earn points to exchange for beast materials, Yinan mused, contemplating the prospect of tackling missions first. Missions? Huang Qing looked taken aback. Yinan, you are a master. Those missions are meant for warriors below the master level. Would it not diminish your status to engage in such tasks? No worries. The essence lies in participation, Yinan chuckled lightly. Very well. The place for missions is called the Purple Gold Institution. You may go on your own. I have other matters to attend to. All right, you carry on. After Huang Qing departed, Yinan exited the headquarters of the Extreme Path Alliance and took a spirit-powered taxi that sped towards the Purple Gold Institution. The Purple Gold Institution. Within the hall of the financial institution, numerous warriors gathered, primarily middle-aged elites and grand warriors, alongside a few younger practitioners. The hall featured an exhibition area filled with exceedingly rare beast materials: the tail of the blue demon basha, the wings of the six-winged demon bird, the horns of the blood demon bull, the legs of the purple striped demon rabbit, the heads of the three-headed cloud serpent, and the feet of the crimson gold black bug. Yinan felt a surge of excitement. All these materials were from master-level beasts and of high grade. However, the point requirements caused him to hesitate. Just the tail of the blue demon basha demanded 10,000 points. After registering at the Purple Gold Institution, Yinan became a beast hunter. Next, it was time to undertake missions. Yinan discovered that each beast hunter was wielding a task panel, resembling a tablet from Huaxia, adorned with various task data. This was one of the few remnants of technology left on Blue Star. He too took hold of a task panel and began to peruse the assignments. One task instructed him to venture into the River Iron Forest to eliminate the fugitive Wang Mo and return with his corpse, categorized as a difficulty level C task, offering a reward of 60 points. Another task required him to enter the Tanggao mountain range to hunt down a 6th-grade martial beast, the Crimson Thunder Tiger, and retrieve its eyes, also rated at difficulty level C with a reward of 60 points. For ordinary martial artists, the materials from ferocious beasts held little value. They preferred to accumulate points instead, which could be exchanged for yuan weapons, techniques, and alliance currency. These tasks presented no challenge for Yinan. As he surveyed his surroundings, he suddenly realized that the task panel he held belonged to the ordinary task zone. After setting it down, he approached the advanced task panel area and picked up a high-level task panel. The task was to subdue a 6th-grade martial warrior level iron blood wolf and bring back its tail, classified as an A-level task with a reward of 7,000 points. Was it truly only 7,000 points for a 6th-grade martial warrior level iron blood wolf? Although such beasts could not be compared to master-level beasts, their materials were undoubtedly more valuable. After a brief moment of contemplation, Yinan felt a sense of relief. The iron blood wolf would surely be more beneficial to him than master-level materials. However, this might not hold true for others. Moreover, the iron blood wolf was sealed, and perhaps there were more than one beast within the confinement. Following the conclusion of the full-scale war between humans and beasts, many ferocious creatures retreated to the subterranean world, yet a significant number remained on the surface of Blue Star, leading to sporadic skirmishes between humans and beasts. This A-level task had yet to be claimed. Yinan accepted the task. After taking on the assignment, he set forth towards the sealed town. The town, now a desolate wasteland, lay not far from the Jiangnan base city. Within a day, Yinan reached the outskirts of the sealed town. It was a small settlement, dilapidated and barren. Yinan unleashed his spiritual energy, which, as a master, was sufficient to envelop the modest town. Through his perception, a smile crept onto his face. Indeed, as he suspected, the town housed more than just the iron blood wolf. The number of beasts was quite considerable. He stepped into the sealed town. The roads were in ruins, and a crimson blood centipede, a 3rd-grade martial beast, lay against the wall, coming into view. Yinan fixed his gaze upon the centipede, activating his wind-based talent, which was currently at an intermediate level and had yet to be utilized. After activating the medium-level wind affinity, a force of wind coalesced into a blade, cleaving the crimson blood centipede on the wall in two. Ding! Recovery successful. 900 yuan stones. 100 training affinity stones. 100 abilities affinity stones. A remarkable 300-fold critical hit yielded such rewards from a 3rd-tier martial beast. Yinan integrated the recovered rewards into his body. Guided by his mental perception, he walked towards a certain direction. A few minutes later, he encountered a dozen martial-level ferocious beasts. Without the slightest hesitation, Yinan dispatched these beasts and proceeded to recover them. He continued onward. Finally, he laid eyes upon a 6th-tier martial beast, the iron-blooded wolf. The iron-blooded wolf glared fiercely at him. With a ferocious roar, it lunged at Yinan. Under the influence of the medium-level wind affinity, the iron-blooded wolf had no means of resistance. Its body split asunder like the crimson blood centipede. He approached the carcass of the iron-blooded wolf, conjured another wind blade, and severed its tail before recovering the beast. Ding! Recovery successful. 300,000 yuan stones. 120,000 training affinity stones. 120,000 abilities affinity stones. Intermediate wind mastery. Gale Dragon Tornado. Observing the rewards acquired, Yinan felt a great sense of satisfaction. The intermediate wind mastery, Gale Dragon technique, could be directly perfected. After merging the rewards, Yinan suddenly smacked his forehead. Oh no, how could he forget about the celestial dragon's sacred art? Feeling a wave of embarrassment, Yinan sighed, contemplating that there were still some ferocious beasts within the sealed town to experiment with. Chapter 23, 400-fold critical hit. Qinggang Mountain Mission, Yinan continued to slay the remaining ferocious beasts within the sealed town. A few beasts appeared before him. These were also martial-level beasts, baring their fangs and glaring at Yinan, resembling rabid dogs. Come on, Yinan beckoned to the beasts before him, enraged by such provocation. The beasts roared and charged at him. Yinan activated the celestial dragon's sacred art. 8 dragon forces surged towards the ferocious beasts. After being struck by the 8 dragon forces, the beasts were instantly obliterated. Indeed, utilizing the celestial dragon's sacred art in battle significantly accelerated his progress. He felt he was much closer to the 9th dragon force. Moments later, dozens more appeared before Yinan. Bang, bang, bang. He continued to invoke the celestial dragon's sacred art. One punch followed another. This time, he refrained from using the dragon forces, but instead struck with the method of cultivating the celestial dragon's sacred art. The air around his fist was infused with golden vitality. Dozens of ferocious beasts were struck down, lifeless, by the force of his golden punch. What a remarkable feat. Yinan smiled, for he had finally succeeded in cultivating the 9th dragon's power. He gathered the fallen beasts with a triumphant chime. Success. 370,000 spirit stones, 150,000 cultivation talent stones, and 150,000 extraordinary ability talent stones. He also acquired a storage ring with a capacity of 20 cubic meters, unlocking a 400-fold critical hit. The ferocity of these beasts was rather feeble, yielding only a modest amount of spirit stones, cultivation talent stones, and extraordinary ability talent stones. However, the acquisition of the storage ring was an unexpected delight. Such rings were exceedingly valuable on Blue Star, far beyond Yinan's current means to purchase. He slipped the storage ring onto his finger, placing the tail of the iron-blood ferocious wolf within. Now, it was time to return and report his success. Departing from Feng Town, he made his way to Jiangnan Base City. Upon returning to Jiangnan Base City, Yinan arrived at the Zijin organization, where tasks were assigned and submitted in separate halls. The task submission hall was bustling with martial artists, all wearing expressions of joy from completing their missions. Yinan observed that the hall was divided into ordinary and advanced task submission areas. He proceeded to the advanced task submission hall. Within this hall, only a handful of grand martial artists were present. Jiangnan Base City, being merely a small locality within the Dragon Kingdom, had its strongest individuals at the first-grade Grandmaster level, and the grand martial artists here were predominantly middle-aged. Upon entering the advanced task submission hall, Yinan stood out conspicuously among the crowd, drawing astonished gazes from the grand martial artists. At such a young age, he dared to undertake tasks from the advanced hall? Were they witnessing youthful ignorance or sheer audacity? The grand martial artists were momentarily taken aback. Yinan approached a staff member, retrieving the tail of the iron-blood ferocious wolf from his storage ring. Despite its high value, the storage ring was manageable for grand martial artists. However, the vast space of Yinan's ring rendered it invaluable. The grand martial artists gazed at the storage ring on Yinan's finger, but their astonishment was eclipsed by the tail of the iron-blood ferocious wolf he produced. The tail of the iron-blood ferocious wolf. Had he truly accomplished such a daunting task? The grand martial artists in the advanced task submission hall were left speechless. They had seen the task on the panel. The iron-blood ferocious wolf was a beast of the 6th grade Grandmaster level, and they were aware that other ferocious beasts lurked in Feng Town, making this task a rare undertaking. How could they have fathomed that such a young individual as Yinan could complete a task of this caliber? The staff member before Yinan stood in a daze, gazing incredulously at the tail of the iron-blooded fierce wolf in Yinan's hand, wanting to articulate something, yet finding no words to express it. Is there a problem? Yinan inquired, noticing the staff still in a state of shock. The staff member snapped back to reality, a look of astonishment crossing his face as he hastily accepted the tail from Yinan, infusing 7,000 points into Yinan's points card. Those 7,000 points were insufficient to exchange for materials of a master-level fierce beast. Yinan had no intention of redeeming anything. My friend, I never imagined you to be such a formidable warrior. Why not join our glorious squad? One of the warriors in the high-level task delivery hall urged. Come on. The glorious squad isn't that great. Trust me, join our iron-blooded squad instead. Another suggested. Join our wolf map squad. Chimed in yet another. Despite the number of great warriors in the hall being limited, it had not dwindled to just a handful. Certain missions were too challenging, requiring teams to accomplish them. Thus nearly every beast hunter had a squad. No, I prefer to walk my own path. Yinan declined the warriors' offers. Teaming up? What a joke. The rewards meant to be earned by one would be divided among several. What was the point of that? Yifeng returned to the task hall, hoping to find a location abundant with fierce beasts to diligently practice the celestial dragon's sacred art. Upon reaching the hall, he perused the high-level task panel once more. As Yinan browsed through the tasks, a highlighted task suddenly caught his attention. The mission required him to gather 100 Bloodfire Wolf hearts from the fierce beast gathering site at Qinggang Mountain. The task was rated A level, offering a reward of 10,000 points, with a suggestion to team up for the venture. Yinan smiled. This task suited him perfectly. Without a moment's hesitation, he accepted the mission. After claiming it, a notification appeared. 2 squads had already taken on the task. Yinan thought to himself that he must hasten his pace. Otherwise, he would arrive at Qinggang Mountain and find nothing left to drink. Qinggang Mountain lay quite a distance from Jiangnan Base City, and Yinan pressed on relentlessly towards it. Upon arrival at Qinggang Mountain, both squads reached the location nearly simultaneously. The task was not exclusive to a single individual. Both squads could obtain 100 Bloodfire Wolf hearts and return to complete the mission. If it were a one-time task, it could not be claimed again once accepted. Yinan's concern about missing out stemmed from the fear that Qinggang Mountain might not have an adequate number of Bloodfire Wolves. Both squads consisted of great warriors, yet they were merely low-tier ones. In Jiangnan Base City, high-tier warriors typically scorned tasks for profit unless exceptionally enticing missions were at hand. Let us ascend the mountain. I've heard from friends that there are plenty of Bloodfire Wolves up there. If danger arises, we can support one another, one of them suggested. In the mountainous realm, 2 squads of formidable warriors, well acquainted and on amicable terms, exchanged nods before commencing their ascent. Chapter 24. Third-rank Master, the Power of the Dragon in Three Realms. Shortly after the two squads ventured up the mountain, Yinan arrived at the foot of Qingang Mountain. This locale, a notorious gathering ground for fierce beasts, harbored untold numbers and powers of its denizens. Yet, he felt no trepidation. Although masters faced peril in the wilderness, it was not within the confines of Jiangnan Base City. Thus, he made his way towards the mountain's summit. Upon reaching Qingang Mountain, Yinan was greeted by the sounds of intense combat. As he focused his gaze, he beheld a group of warriors engaged in the unilateral slaughter of a cluster of ferocious beasts. The task of procuring 100 hearts of bloodfire wolves had been undertaken by the two squads. Recognizing them as the task-bearers, he observed their prowess. Suddenly, a thunderous roar erupted from behind him, and as he turned, he was confronted by a dozen ferocious beasts, among which were 3 bloodfire wolves, elite beasts of the 3rd rank. The task as classification as A grade, and its higher points than that of the iron blood fierce wolves, stemmed from the nature of Qingang Mountain as a beast-infested territory. Here, in such a domain, one not only had to fulfill tasks but also contend with the assaults of other beasts. Clenching his fist, golden energy enveloped it. With a resounding roar, the beasts charged at Yinan, their fangs glinting ominously, intent on tearing him apart. With a forceful strike, his fists cloaked in golden energy struck out. For the beasts, the outcome was inevitable. Death awaited them, as they collapsed into a pool of blood. Yinan extracted the hearts of the 3 bloodfire wolves and placed them into his spatial ring, subsequently reclaiming the remains of the other beasts. As a second-rank master, although he could harvest a multitude of low-tier beasts, the rewards, while considerable under a 400-fold critical multiplier, were still insufficient to facilitate a breakthrough. 10 dragon powers. Yinan exclaimed with delight. The heavenly dragon's sacred art comprised 9 realms, and he had now attained the first. Yet, this was merely the beginning. Having noticed that the two squads had departed, he chose a different path to advance. Moments later, he stumbled upon a cave inhabited by ferocious beasts. A smile brightened his face. Indeed, this gathering ground lived up to its reputation. Without hesitation, he ventured into the beast cave. Prior to entering, he gauged the interior with his spiritual sense and discerned a significant number of beasts within. Once inside the cave, Yinan continued to employ the heavenly dragon's sacred art. 11 dragon powers, 12 dragon powers, 13 dragon powers. Within the cavern, the golden fist energy howled, and the fierce beasts fell one after another. The remaining creatures, upon sensing their impending doom, scattered in panic, yet Yifeng would not allow them to escape. 17 dragon powers. In a mere span of time, the dragon powers surged to 17. 17 dragon powers equate to 7 million combat strength. Yinan felt a surge of joy as he surveyed the fierce beasts within the cave, opting to proceed with the reclamation. Ding. Reclamation successful. 600,000 stones. 170,000 cultivation talent stones. 170,000 extraordinary ability stones. After merging the rewards, Yinan exited the cavern. The completion of the mission was not of utmost importance in this gathering place of fierce beasts. What truly mattered was the presence of beasts for Yinan to reclaim. He continued to probe the area with his mental energy. After a few seconds, he detected the presence of human warriors along with that of the fierce beasts. Once he withdrew his mental energy, Yinan remained still, noting that both the human warriors and the fierce beasts were advancing towards him. Minutes later, he observed a group of human warriors sprinting towards him at great speed. This group comprised the formidable warriors from 2 teams. Trailing behind these warriors were numerous fierce beasts, all of which were bloodfire wolves. Leading the pack was a trio of 6th-grade bloodfire wolves. The number of bloodfire wolves exceeded 1,000. It appeared that the 2 teams of warriors had trespassed into the lair of the bloodfire wolves. The fleeing warriors bore expressions of sheer terror, yet Yinan was exhilarated. With so many fierce beasts, this mission was indeed thrilling. He raised his fist, which radiated with golden light. The fist then struck fiercely at the bloodfire wolves. With the first blow aimed directly at the trio of 6th-grade bloodfire wolves. The remaining wolves could not escape their fate, rendered powerless like ants before a master. The warriors from the 2 teams watched in utter disbelief, as if struck by lightning. A master. They hurriedly rubbed their eyes, unable to fathom such a shocking spectacle, convinced it must be an illusion. However, no matter how they rubbed their eyes, the outcome remained unchanged. A master truly stood before them. Bloodfire wolves continued to collapse, filling the air with their sanguine scent, the ground awash in crimson. The warriors from the 2 teams were utterly horrified as they gazed at Yinan in the distance. The chasm between a great warrior and a master was but a single tier, yet the disparity in strength was astronomical. A master could obliterate them with the greatest of ease. Do you wish to partake in a share? Observing that the two teams of warriors had yet to depart, a wicked smile appeared on Yinan's face. He did not consider himself a villain, yet he could not bring himself to share the excess hearts of the Bloodfire wolves with others. The warriors from the two teams trembled in fear, suddenly realizing the gravity of their situation, and gazed at Yinan in horror. Master, please do not misunderstand. That is not our intention. We shall leave at once. As they spoke, the formidable warriors from both teams hastily departed. In the wilderness, it was commonplace for martial artists to kill, and they understood that offending a master would subject them to the terror of such a figure. Yinan extracted the heart of the Bloodfire wolf, having successfully gathered 100 of them. Ding. Retrieval successful. 2,100,000 stones. 600,000 cultivation talent stones. 600,000 extraordinary ability stones. 1 medium wind talent. Yinan fused the rewards from the retrieval. 3rd grade master. The medium wind talent upgraded to a high-level wind talent. The dragon power ascended to the 3rd realm. Yinan smiled, not only breaking through to the 3rd grade master, but also elevating the medium wind talent to a high-level wind talent, and his dragon power reached the 3rd realm. The 3rd realm of dragon power equated to 30 strands of dragon strength, culminating in a staggering 3 million combat power. Continuing his search on Qinggang Mountain, Yinan systematically eliminated and collected a number of ferocious beasts before descending from the mountain. In Jiangnan Bay City, at the high-level mission submission hall, Yinan presented the 100 Bloodfire wolf hearts to the staff. 10,000 points were credited to his points card. He now possessed a total of 17,000 points. He proceeded to the exchange hall, which was bustling with numerous martial artists. A staff member approached Yinan and inquired, "Esteemed martial artist, may I ask what type of items you wish to exchange for?" "Materials from ferocious beasts," he replied. "Very well, esteemed martial artist, please follow me." The staff member guided Yinan in a particular direction. Before long, under her lead, he arrived at an exchange hall filled with an array of ferocious beast materials. The variety and quantity of materials were abundant. Yinan surveyed the dazzling assortment, searching for a worthy ferocious beast material that he could acquire with his 17,000 points. Steel-tailed scorpion tail, 5th grade master level ferocious beast material, 12,000 points. Demon blood beef, 3rd grade master level ferocious beast material, 10,000 points. Purple striped python head, 6th grade master level ferocious beast material, 17,000 points. Yinan's gaze lingered on the purple striped python head material, priced precisely at 17,000 points, which he currently possessed. The staff member noticed Yinan's keen interest in the master level ferocious beast materials and appeared puzzled. "I wish to exchange for this." Yinan indicated the purple striped python head. The staff member gasped, staring in astonishment at the material Yinan was pointing to. "Esteemed martial artist, this is a master-level ferocious beast material. Are you certain you are not mistaken?" The staff member regarded Yinan cautiously, suspecting he might be unfamiliar with the written language. Without providing further explanation, Yinan produced his points card and extended it toward the staff member before him. Upon witnessing Yinan produce his points card, the staff member momentarily froze before accepting it from his hand. After a swift scan, the exchange was successful. The purple patterned python's head now belonged to Yinan. The staff member gazed after Yinan's retreating figure, comprehending a profound truth. Appearances can be deceiving, and one cannot gauge the depths of the ocean by mere measurement. Yinan found a secluded corner to recycle the python's head. With a pleasant chime, the recycling was successful, yielding 1.6 million stones, 350,000 cultivation talent stones, and 350,000 extraordinary ability talent stones. He also received the advanced speed technique, flowing cloud step. With a resigned sigh, Yinan acknowledged that the rewards were acceptable. Having something was certainly better than having nothing. The advanced speed technique, flowing cloud step, could be mastered instantly, sparing him the time typically spent on training. Upon returning to the Extreme Tao Alliance, Yinan took a refreshing shower and donned a clean outfit. He strolled through the plaza, his gaze fixed upon the demon-suppressing stone bell. He resolved that once his strength increased further, he would venture inside to explore its mysteries. The following day, Yinan arrived at the Zijin Institution. As soon as he stepped inside, he overheard several martial artists whispering among themselves. "Have you heard? A 9-headed evil lion has appeared in the Qinghe Mountains outside the base city. Many have taken on this task and are heading there now." "Really? We should hurry to accept it. If we delay, there'll be nothing left for us." "What are you thinking? The 9-headed evil lion is a beast of the 9th rank. We are mere martial artists. Attempting to take on this task could lead to our demise." The mention of the 9-headed evil lion piqued Yinan's curiosity. He had not previously heard of such a beast. He examined the task panel, and there it was, the task to slay the 9-headed evil lion in the Qinghe Mountains, a beast of the 9th rank, requiring the retrieval of its fangs. The task's difficulty was rated as S-class, with a reward of 50,000 points. Yin mused to himself, while the points were indeed tempting. The sheer number of individuals accepting the task was puzzling. After claiming the task, he noted that over 70 others had done the same. It was essential to recognize that the martial artists undertaking tasks at the Zijin Institution were predominantly of lower ranks. While the nine-headed evil lion belonged to the 9th rank category, making the overwhelming number of task claimants perplexing. Brother, why are so many people taking on the nine-headed evil lion task? Yin inquired of the martial artists who had been discussing the task. Brother, are you genuinely unaware or simply pretending? The blood of the nine-headed evil lion greatly aids martial artists in breaking through their realms, which is why so many are eager to accept the task. Thank you. Yin felt little interest in the blood of the nine-headed evil lion, considering it was merely a 9th-rank beast and likely of little use to a master. It was a reality that tasks at the Zijin Institution typically catered to martial artists, elite martial artists, and great martial artists. Were it not for his intention to recycle the beast, he would not have chosen to engage in such tasks. Firstly, the masters are not in want of money. If they so desire, there are ample forces and conglomerates in the base city that will readily provide financial support. Secondly, the materials derived from ferocious beasts hold little significance for the masters, as they are primarily beneficial to specialized talents such as alchemists. While the number of masters in the Jiangnan base city is not vast, they certainly form a substantial presence, serving as the backbone of their respective factions. The aspiration of these masters is to break through and ascend to greater heights. Therefore, they are typically either engaged in cultivation or on the path of it. Having exited the Zijin Institution, Yinan, now that he had accepted a task, found himself with time on his hands. The recovery of ferocious beast materials for cultivation is notably swifter than mere absorption of spiritual energy, and thus Yinan opted to pursue the avenue of reclaiming these materials. The Qinghe mountain range is not a known gathering place for ferocious beasts, so the emergence of the nine-headed evil lion there took everyone by surprise. At that moment, martial artists were scouring the Qinghe mountain range for the nine-headed evil lion. Aside from beast hunters, various martial arts schools and martial families, having heard the news, had also arrived in the region. Yinan too made his way to the Qinghe mountain range. The expanse of the mountain range was immense, with peaks stretching endlessly, and the whereabouts of the nine-headed evil lion remained unknown to all. Employing his spiritual sense, Yinan detected the presence of human warriors but found no trace of the nine-headed evil lion. After a few minutes of walking, he encountered several formidable warriors, all of whom were third-tier martial artists. Yet, should they encounter the nine-headed evil lion, their chances of survival would be utterly bleak. Indeed, money can drive one to great lengths. They were willing to risk everything for the blood of the ferocious beast. As Yinan continued on, he discreetly employed his spiritual sense, detecting numerous warriors nearby, including several high-ranking martial artists. With so many fighters present in the Qinghe mountain range, should the nine-headed evil lion appear, a fierce battle for its possession would likely ensue, and he could merely observe the conflict from a distance, he mused to himself. A day passed without any news regarding the nine-headed evil lion. Yinan decided to cease his search and found a secluded spot to cultivate the heavenly dragon's sacred art. He speculated that the nine-headed evil lion might have left the Qinghe mountain range, and rather than squander time, it was prudent to focus on his training. Another day elapsed, and Yinan cultivated 31 strands of dragon power. The martial artists in the Qinghe mountain range continued their quest for the nine-headed evil lion. 3 days later, the dragon power from the heavenly dragon's sacred art reached 34 strands. Some warriors began to depart from the Qinghe mountain range, having concluded that the nine-headed evil lion had likely vacated the area. Chapter 26. The Young Masters of the Qinghe mountain range, 4 realms. 40 strands of dragon power. Yinan shook his head with a smile. He had originally come to undertake a task, but had been engrossed in cultivating the heavenly dragon's sacred art. However, it was fortuitous, as he had now reached the 4th realm. It seemed there was still no news of the nine-headed evil lion. Yinan murmured to himself, nodding slightly as he gazed at the sun in the sky, contemplating whether it was time to leave. The nine-headed evil lion. Suddenly, a series of heart-wrenching screams pierced through the air, reaching his ears. Yinan promptly employed his mental prowess to investigate. He had detected something. Activating the advanced speed technique. Flowing cloud steps, he hastened towards the source of the commotion. Upon arrival, however, Yinan was met with the gruesome sight of 3 bloodied corpses. Yet there was no sign of the nine-headed evil lion. The faces of the 3 lifeless bodies were still somewhat recognizable. They were formidable warriors, the very same ones Yinan had encountered days prior. At that time, he had pondered that should they cross paths with the nine-headed evil lion, survival would be utterly impossible. Little did he anticipate that they would indeed encounter it. Was he, Despite appearing as a master on the surface, merely a harbinger of doom? Nonetheless, a glimmer of excitement danced across Yinan's face. The nine-headed evil lion had made its appearance, and since it had come, the task must be fulfilled. He speculated that the blood of the nine-headed evil lion might hold no benefit for him, yet it was merely conjecture. What if it proved to be useful? Even the slightest advantage would be worthwhile, not to mention the enticing reward of 50,000 points upon completion of the task, an opportunity he did not wish to forego. Thus, he continued his search for the elusive nine-headed evil lion. Several hours later, Yinan's mental faculties detected the presence of a fearsome beast. Guided by his instincts, he surmised it to be none other than the nine-headed evil lion. Without delay, he activated flowing cloud steps, propelling himself forward at breakneck speed. Minutes later, he laid eyes on the nine-headed evil lion. Cloaked in darkness, it bore 9 heads, its visage grotesque, with fangs as sharp as steel blades, exuding an aura of terror. Yet it was injured. At last, he had found it. A smile spread across Yinan's face. It was no surprise that others fell short against the nine-headed evil lion. But before him, it appeared somewhat diminished. Keep running. Aren't you quite the sprinter? A chilling laugh echoed in Yinan's ears as a young warrior, seemingly 18 or 19, accompanied by an elder, approached. The young warrior was an 8th-grade martial artist. The elder, on the other hand, was a master, while the young warrior was undoubtedly a prodigy. Yinan held little interest in him, merely an 8th-grade martial artist. The elder standing beside the young warrior caught Yinan's attention as his information flashed before his eyes. Name, Huangzhou. Level, 1st-grade master. Training talent, exceptional. Unique abilities, high-level defense talent, moderate fire talent. The young warrior sneered at the nine-headed evil lion. Uncle Huang, let us slay this beast. Listening to the young warrior, Yinan mused that the young man's background must be quite formidable. The nine-headed evil lion was already wounded, a sitting duck. Huangzhou chuckled, turning his gaze towards Yinan. Little brother, why do you not take your leave? At this, the young warrior finally shifted his attention to Yinan. Yinan, wishing to avoid unnecessary conversation, fixed his gaze upon the fearsome nine-headed lion not far off. Though injured, the beast glared at them with ferocity, ready to pounce at any moment. With a thunderous roar, he unleashed his power, summoning 3 golden dragons from within, radiating a brilliant golden light throughout the area. However, these dragons did not target the nine-headed lion directly, but rather its surroundings. Yinan understood that with 3 golden dragons boasting a combat strength of 3 million, the lion would be reduced to mere dust, thwarting his mission. A tremendous sound erupted around the nine-headed lion, and the residual force of the 3 golden dragons proved fatal for the creature. A 3rd-grade master, exclaimed the young warrior and the elder, their faces etched with shock. Yinan turned to them, offering 2 choices: depart immediately or face his wrath. Without a moment's hesitation, they fled, never imagining that Yinan was indeed a master. They had unwittingly stumbled upon a formidable opponent. Approaching the fallen lion, Yinan extracted its fangs and stored them in his spatial ring. Next came the collection of the beast's blood. Rather than proceeding with caution, he raised the lion's carcass, creating an opening to drink its blood directly. He disregarded the ferocity of the lion's blood, knowing it was merely a 9th-grade beast, and with his strength as a 3rd-grade master, he felt no fear. A group of 8 formidable warriors, having heard the commotion, hastened towards the scene, witnessing the astonishing sight of Yinan drinking from the nine-headed lion's body. Was this truly the capability of humanity, consuming the blood of such a powerful beast without fear of fatal repercussions? Their focus was perplexing. Should they not be astonished that a 9th-grade beast had been vanquished, and ponder how Yinan had achieved such a feat? Indeed, he must be at least a 9th-grade warrior, if not a master. The realization struck them. He was undoubtedly a master, as few could rival the nine-headed lion among 9th-grade beasts. The astonishment on the warriors' faces was palpable. Yinan was remarkably young, and such prowess at his age was difficult for them to comprehend. Before long, he drained the lion's blood completely, wiping his lips with a slight smile. The blood was not without merit, but it would not facilitate his immediate ascent from a 3rd-grade master to a 4th-grade master. What are you doing over there? Yinan inquired, noticing the nearby warriors. They trembled slightly and quickly shook their heads, insisting they were doing nothing. Exchanging glances as if reaching a silent accord, they hastily departed the scene. Yinan then reclaimed the nine-headed lion, unleashing a 500-fold critical strike. The rewards for the nine-headed malevolent lion's mission failed to propel him forward. After departing from the Qinghe mountain range, he returned to the Jiangnan base city. Having spent an extended period in the Qinghe mountain range, Yinan's attire was in disarray. Upon returning to his room in the Extreme Tao Alliance, he indulged in a refreshing bath and enjoyed a rejuvenating sleep. The following day, Yinan set his course for the Zijin Institution. At the Zijin Institution, within the Grand Hall, numerous martial artists whispered among themselves. Have you heard? A young master has emerged during the nine-headed malevolent lion mission. I hadn't heard. Who is this young master? I hold him in such high esteem. You think that's something? I also heard that this young master drank the blood of the nine-headed malevolent lion. Chapter 27. Jianghe Martial Arts Hall. Tunglong Martial Arts Hall. Upon entering the Zijin Institution, Yinan overheard the martial artists discussing him, but he paid them no mind. He made his way towards the high-level task submission hall. After some time, he arrived at the hall, where a staff member promptly greeted him. Yinan had completed 2 A-level tasks, both of which had been handled by this very staff member. Recognizing Yinan's return, the staff member understood that he had accomplished yet another task. In the high-level task submission hall, several martial artists had a distinct impression of Yinan. They had been astonished when he completed the iron-blooded fierce wolf mission, even urging him to join their squad, but Yinan had declined. Familiar martial artists turned their attention to him once more, eager to discover the details of his latest accomplishment. Yinan, indifferent to their gazes, retrieved the fangs of the nine-headed malevolent lion from his spatial ring. The martial artists in the hall found themselves momentarily stunned by the sight of the nine-headed malevolent lion's fangs. Many missions involved collecting the fangs of fierce beasts, yet they were left pondering what task Yinan had truly completed. The staff member before Yinan, however, recognized the significance of the item he had produced and stared at Yinan in disbelief. Martial Master, you actually completed the nine-headed malevolent lion's mission? The staff member looked at Yinan in utter astonishment. Hearing the staff member's words, the martial artists in the high-level task submission hall gasped in shock, their mouths agape. Rendered speechless. The nine-headed malevolent lion's mission? He actually accomplished it? They recalled the rumors of a young master emerging from the Qinghe mountain range, and the astonishing realization dawned upon them that this young master was none other than Yinan. Indeed, they should have deduced it sooner. Yinan had completed the iron-blooded fierce wolf mission and the task of retrieving 100 bloodfire wolf hearts from Qinggang Mountain. Surely, this spoke volumes of his prowess. The great warriors gazed in astonishment at Yinan, a youthful master whose presence in Jiangnan Bay City seemed incongruous. Surely, such an individual ought to be found in the most powerful realms of Blue Star. Once the staff member before Yinan regained his composure, he collected the materials of the nine-headed evil lion, adding 50,000 points to Yinan's scorecard. Yinan contemplated the significance of these points, realizing they could be exchanged for some master-level beast materials. Are you a master? One of the great warriors inquired, his voice tinged with awe. Yinan turned his gaze toward the speaker, noting that not only he, but all present in the high-level task hall, were fixated on him. Does it matter? Yinan retorted, implying that whether he was a master held no relevance to the warrior. Even if he were a master, the warrior remained a great fighter. Despite the rebuff, the great warrior remained undeterred, addressing Yinan with newfound respect. Master, please wait for me here. You must wait, thank you. With that, the warrior dashed out of the high-level task hall. Yinan, perplexed by the warrior's intentions, decided to wait. After all, there was no pressing matter at hand, and he was curious to see what the warrior would concoct. To his surprise, following the first warrior's departure, several others soon followed suit, deepening his confusion. Could it be that they intended to summon members of their faction to recruit him? Yinan dismissed his thoughts, trusting that clarity would come in due time. The atmosphere within the high-level task hall grew somewhat oppressive, as the great warriors could not help but steal glances at Yinan, their curiosity about him palpable. After a considerable interval, the warrior who had exited returned, accompanied by an elder. The elder, appearing to be in his 60s, possessed a frail physique, yet radiated vigor and vitality. It is Master Huangzhou, the great warrior proclaimed excitedly. Yinan recognized the elder before him. It was none other than the master he had encountered in the Qinghe Mountains. Upon seeing Yinan, Huangzhou's pupils constricted sharply, his countenance revealing shock. It's you. The great warriors in the hall were well acquainted with the elder, as they recognized every master in Jiangnan Bay City, save for Yinan. Their astonishment grew as they pondered whether Master Huangzhou knew Yinan. The great warriors surrounding Huangzhou were equally taken aback, momentarily at a loss for words. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Huangzhou, affiliated with the Jianghe Martial Arts Academy. I would like to invite you to join us. Huangzhou respectfully proposed to Yinan after a brief pause. Huangzhou was acutely aware of Yinan's formidable prowess. When he accompanied the young master to the Qinghe mountain range to capture the nine-headed evil lion, Yinan's display of strength lingered vividly in his memory. He felt fortunate that he had not provoked Yinan excessively. Otherwise, he and the young master would have been nothing more than cold corpses in the Qinghe mountain range. Simultaneously, Huangzhou recognized that with such a powerful master as Yinan joining their Jianghe martial arts school, It would soon ascend to become the premier martial arts institution in the Jiangnan-based city. The grand warriors gathered in the hall were taken aback to hear Master Huang Zhou address Yi Nan with the honorific you. It was noteworthy. Considering Huang Zhou himself was a master, could it be that Yi Nan surpassed him in strength? If not, why employ such a respectful form of address? Haha, fortunately, I received the news in time. Otherwise, your Jianghe martial arts school would have gained the upper hand. A sudden voice resonated through the hall, drawing the attention of the martial artists within. It was the master of the Tunglong martial arts school. The grand warriors were astonished. A middle-aged man strode confidently into the high-level task assignment hall. His name was Lin Tong, a 6th-rank master with exceptional cultivation talent and advanced abilities in speed and defense, alongside moderate proficiency in swordsmanship. The information about the middle-aged man flashed before Yi Nan's eyes. I am Lin Tong, the head of the Tunglong martial arts school. I invite you to join us. Our school possesses immense potential for growth and will not disappoint you. Lin Ting smiled warmly at Yi Nan. Such a prodigy was not one to overlook. A master in his 20s was already a significant indicator of his capabilities. Huang Zhou ground his teeth in frustration. Having not anticipated the Tunglong martial arts school's boldness, their master had personally come to recruit Yi Nan. Had he known, he would have informed his own master. The Jianghe and Tunglong martial arts schools were moving swiftly. Another voice emerged in the high-level task assignment hall. The grand warriors turned in unison to see yet another middle-aged man entering the hall. It was Wang Kuan, the master of the Viper martial arts school. The grand warriors exchanged glances, as such a scene was unprecedented for them. Wang Kuan and Lin Tong were both 6th-rank masters, with comparable cultivation and extraordinary abilities. Young brother, do not heed their words. Join our Viper martial arts school, for it is the place you truly belong. Wang Kuan smiled at Yi Nan. The grand warriors in the hall pondered which martial arts school Yi Nan would ultimately choose. The Jianghe, Tunglong, and Viper martial arts schools were the 3 leading institutions in Jiangnan-based city, each with nearly equivalent strength. And they had been engaged in both overt and covert rivalry for the coveted title of the foremost martial arts school. Yi Nan secretly shook his head and smiled, initially pondering the reasons behind the sudden departure of the formidable warriors from the task submission hall. It turned out they were there to invite him to join their esteemed faction. Young brother, consider joining our Li family. Renowned throughout the Jiangnan-based city as a distinguished martial arts clan, an elderly man declared as he briskly entered the hall. The warriors inside were taken aback, their astonishment palpable. Never had they anticipated the presence of a martial arts family among them. In quick succession, several heads of other martial arts families entered the high-level task submission hall. The staff within the hall were rendered utterly astonished, having never witnessed such an event before. Sir, I am yet to learn your name. May I inquire what it is? Huang Zhou, a 1st-grade master, stood among the prominent masters who had come to extend an invitation to Yi Nan, feeling somewhat overshadowed, as he was the least powerful in their midst. At that moment, no fewer than a dozen masters surrounded Yi Nan, a sight that would astonish anyone. Yi Nan, he replied candidly, feeling no need for concealment. The masters and warriors alike etched his name into their memories. With eager anticipation, they presented high offers to entice him into their ranks. The warriors in the hall remained silent, recognizing that with so many masters present, their voices held little weight. All eyes converged on Yi Nan's face, each individual keen to discern which faction he would ultimately choose. A palpable silence ensued, so quiet one could hear a pin drop as all awaited his response. Sir Yi Nan, you have yet to align with any faction. I assure you, our Jianghe Martial Arts Academy is truly commendable. Please consider us, Huang Zhou urged. Noticing Yi Nan's silence, the masters, observing Huang Zhou's initiative, followed suit. I have already joined a faction, thus I cannot align with you, Yi Nan stated resolutely to the gathered masters. They were momentarily taken aback. Joined a faction? But we have not seen you within the powerful factions of Jiangnan-based city. When did you become affiliated with another group? Lin Tong, the head of the Tunglong Martial Arts Academy, asked with a hint of reluctance. All eyes turned to Yi Nan, who they believed might be jesting, assuming he had not truly joined another faction. The Extreme Path Alliance, Yi Nan replied to Lin Tong. The entire assembly within the high-level task submission hall fell into a state of shock. So, Yi Nan was indeed a member of the Extreme Path Alliance? That explained why they had never encountered him amongst the other factions. The Extreme Path Alliance is a faction that governs the martial artists of the Jiangnan-based city, under the authority of the city lord's mansion. Typically, the Extreme Path Alliance refrains from intervening in the affairs of the major factions within Jiangnan-based city. However, in times of need, they may issue directives to these factions. The masters surrounding Yi Nan exhibited expressions of disappointment upon discovering his affiliation with the Extreme Path Alliance. Naturally, Yi Nan would not consider aligning himself with their faction. The masters shook their heads in unison and began to exit the high-level task submission hall. Yinan, undeterred, believed that joining the Extreme Path Alliance was indeed a wise decision. After all, the Alliance possessed the Demon Suppression Bell, which was said to conceal numerous formidable beasts, a resource unmatched by other factions. He did not linger in the high-level task submission hall for long and made his way to the exchange hall. Having visited the exchange hall once before, Yinan found himself navigating it with ease and arrived at the section for exchanging beast materials. "Ah, it's you again, esteemed warrior," a female staff member remarked. Swallowing hard, the last time Yinan exchanged for the purple-patterned python's head had left her utterly speechless. This time, she was determined not to react as she had previously. She recalled how Yinan had seemed fixated on the master-level beast materials, leading her to initially think he was illiterate. However, Yinan soon proved that one should not judge a person by appearances, nor the depths of the sea by mere measurements. As Yinan perused the master-level beast materials, he noted that his points card contained a total of 50,000 points, which he intended to spend entirely. Moments later, he successfully exchanged his 50,000 points for 4 types of master-level beast materials. The female staff member struggled to contain her astonishment upon seeing Yinan's impressive points balance. The last time he had redeemed the purple-patterned python's head, his card had been completely depleted, and now, in such a short span, he had amassed another 50,000 points. As she watched him depart, words failed to capture the shock she felt. It was inconceivable to her the caliber of individual she had encountered. Yinan retreated to a secluded corner, where he reclaimed the 4 types of master-level materials. Ding. Recovery successful. 7 million essence stones. 1. 5 million cultivation talent stones. 1. 5 million supernatural talent stones. Delight surged within him as he integrated the recovery rewards into his being. 4th-tier master. Having consumed the blood of the 9-headed evil lion had already significantly enhanced his vitality. And with the fusion of the 7 million essence stones, Yinan successfully ascended to the rank of 4th-tier master. He returned to the Extreme Path Alliance. After spending a day in the Alliance, Yinan encountered Huang Qing, greeting him with a nod. Huang Qing smiled in return. "Yinan, you are now quite the celebrity in Jiangnan Base City. Word has spread that a young master has emerged from our city." "Not too shabby," Yinan replied. Regarding these fleeting titles, Yinan is not particularly concerned. However, the sense of exhilaration is undeniable. In Huaxia, he was merely an inconspicuous figure, with few familiar with his name. Yet now, the narrative has shifted. He stands as a formidable master, equipped with a system, and his future achievements are boundless. The feeling of being well-known, admired, and revered by many is indeed quite gratifying. Chapter 29. The Demon Suppressing Stone Bell. The Blackwing Demon Bat. After exchanging a few words with Master Huang Qing, Yinan made his way to the Purple Gold Institute, where his primary goal was to diligently undertake tasks to elevate his mastery of the Heavenly Dragon's sacred art to perfection. Upon arriving at the Purple Gold Institute, he began to accept advanced tasks, which primarily comprised A and S grade missions, with S grade tasks being notably scarce. 1 month later, he had completed numerous tasks, resulting in his cultivation realm advancing from a 4th rank master to a 6th rank master. The Heavenly Dragon's sacred art reached the 9th realm, achieving great success. Name: Yinan System, Billionfold Critical Recovery System Realm. 6th rank master cultivation talent, exceptional supernatural talents, advanced fire affinity, advanced wind affinity, advanced strength affinity, advanced speed affinity, advanced defense affinity techniques, Heavenly Dragon sacred art, great fire dragon technique, whirlwind, fire dragon technique, Heavenly Origin Fist, Void Splitting Finger, Shadow Fist, Flowing Cloud Steps. Obscured Shadow Steps critical multiplier, 600 times. He returned to the Extreme Path Alliance. The completion of the Heavenly Dragon sacred art was no trivial feat. Standing in the plaza of the Extreme Path Alliance, he surveyed the Demon Suppressing Stone Bell. It was time to enter. After a brief inspection of the bell, Yinan proceeded towards the Grand Hall in the plaza, still uncertain of how to access the Demon Suppressing Stone Bell. Upon entering the Grand Hall, he discovered not only the Alliance leader Su Yuan, but also several martial artists, all masters in their own right. "Yinan, you have arrived," greeted Alliance leader Su Yuan with a smile. The masters within the hall were taken aback, scrutinizing Yinan from head to toe. "So this is the young master Yinan from our Jiangnan Base City. He truly possesses a remarkable presence." A twinge of envy flickered among the masters as they regarded Yinan. They understood that individuals like him were destined to stand at the pinnacle of the martial arts hierarchy on Blue Star, a status far beyond their reach. Subsequently, the masters introduced themselves to Yinan. "Yinan, have you come to see me for a particular reason?" Alliance leader Su Yuan inquired. Aware that Yinan had been diligently undertaking tasks at the Purple Gold Institute, Although he couldn't comprehend why Yinan, already a master, would be so fervently accepting tasks. He had heard about Yinan exchanging points for fierce beast materials, which only deepened his intrigue. He speculated that perhaps Yinan aspired to become an alchemist, thus justifying his procurement of such materials. Leader, I wish to enter the demon-suppressing stone bell, Yinan stated to Alliance leader Su Yuan. You wish to enter the demon-suppressing stone bell? Su Yuan was utterly astonished, never having anticipated such a request from Yinan. Not only Su Yuan, but the several masters within the Grand Hall were also taken aback by Yinan's intention to enter the demon suppression stone bell. The demon suppression stone bell is fraught with peril. Even masters face a significant risk of demise upon entry. Yinan, what is your purpose in entering the demon suppression stone bell? Su Yuan, the leader, gazed at him in confusion, believing there was no necessity for such an action. I simply wish to test my strength, Yinan replied with a smile. No, the dangers within the demon suppression stone bell are immense. If you enter, leader, I have already contemplated this decision, and do you not trust my temperament to refrain from undertaking a venture without assurance? Yinan interjected before Su Yuan could finish his thought. Su Yuan pondered for a moment. Indeed, from the very first glance at Yinan, despite his youth, there was a sense of maturity about him, as if he had traversed numerous trials. In truth, Yinan had not encountered many hardships. He had merely read a plethora of web novels in Huaxia, including many tales of foreign invasions, which shaped his current disposition. Very well, Su Yuan nodded at Yinan. You may proceed, but on one condition, I shall accompany you. The masters present in the hall found Su Yuan's reasoning sound. Accompanying Yinan into the demon suppression stone bell would ensure his safety and eliminate the risk of his demise within. Leader, I prefer to enter alone. Yinan understood that his response might be perceived as inconsiderate, yet he had no choice. He did not wish to expose his system. The masters were momentarily taken aback. Had Yinan just declined their offer? Was it not better to enter the demon suppression stone bell with someone for safety? They found themselves perplexed by Yinan's reasoning. After ascending to the rank of Grand Master, Su Yuan had visited every base city in the Dragon Kingdom and encountered numerous exceptionally gifted individuals. Yet many of these talents were often arrogant. Yinan, however, was different, although his words may have seemed somewhat audacious. There was an intrinsic quality about him that set him apart from others. Su Yuan contemplated that perhaps Yinan's nature stemmed from being a master himself. He observed Yinan. Although extraordinarily young, the depth of his gaze was unforgettable, reminiscent of a tranquil night sky, profound as the ocean. Very well. Suddenly, Su Yuan nodded in agreement with Yinan's insistence. In truth, he could not fully comprehend why he acquiesced. The masters in the hall had anticipated that the leader would reject Yinan's request, yet they were astonished by his acceptance. After agreeing, Su Yuan rose and made his way towards the exit of the Grand Hall, prompting the masters to quickly follow suit. The group arrived at the entrance of the demon suppression stone bell. Yinan, once you enter, exercise utmost caution, Su Yuan advised earnestly. Understood. Yinan replied with a nod. As he spoke, the leader Su Yuan placed one hand on the right side of the demon suppression stone bell. With a surge of his primal energy, he lifted it upward, and a dark entrance came into view before Yinan. Enter, commanded Su Yuan. Yinan gazed at the profoundly dark opening, which exuded an oppressive atmosphere. Yet, without a moment's hesitation, he stepped into the abyss. Darkness enveloped him entirely. Moments later, Yinan's feet touched solid ground. The vision of a warrior, particularly that of a master, is remarkably acute. To a master, night seems as bright as day. Devoid of distinction. Before him lay a narrow path, accompanied by a chilling gust of wind that sent shivers down his spine. He ventured forward along this path. Meanwhile, he employed his mental energy to probe the area, discovering numerous formidable beasts beneath the demon suppression stone bell. However, now that he had attained the 6th rank of master, bolstered by the heavenly dragon's sacred art, he felt no fear of the beasts contained within. After several minutes, a fearsome creature came into his line of sight. It clung to the stone wall, its enormous wings spanning over 2 meters, its pitch-black body accentuated by eerie green eyes that struck terror into the heart. It was a 3rd-rank master-level beast, the black-winged demon bat. Yinan smiled. He had seen the black-winged demon bat in the beast compendium. It was powerful, possessing the abilities of speed-based beasts. Chapter 30. 8th-rank master-level beast. The black-winged demon bat fixed its cold gaze upon Yinan, letting out a cackling laugh. It has been ages since I last laid eyes on a human. It spoke, the voice of a master-level beast now capable of human speech. With that, the black-winged demon bat lunged at Yinan with ferocity. Being merely a 3rd-rank master-level beast, it stood no chance against Yinan, who was a 6th-rank master. With a powerful strike, his fist, imbued with the unique golden energy of a master, soared toward the black-winged demon bat. The creature was taken aback, realizing too late that it could not evade the punch charged with Yi Nan's golden energy. Unquestionably, Yi Nan's fist struck heavily against the beast's massive form, sending the black-winged demon bat crashing against the wall, lifeless. Yi Nan approached the fallen beast, feeling quite pleased at having encountered a third-rank master-level black-winged demon bat upon entering the demon suppression stone bell. Ding. Recovery successful. For million stone currency. 1. 2 million cultivation talent stones. 1. 2 million supernatural talent stones. Low-level rain-type talent X1. Upon reviewing the rewards from his recovery, Yi Nan felt a surge of joy, having gained another supernatural talent. After assimilating the recovery rewards into his being, the low-level rain-type talent advanced to a medium-level rain-type talent. Yi Nan understood that the demon-suppressing stone bell housed numerous ferocious beasts, all of which he needed to reclaim. Now a 6th-tier master. The quantity of elemental stones required for his next breakthrough was daunting. He ventured deeper into the bell. Half an hour later, he encountered 3 master-level beasts, each of the 3rd-tier master rank. Upon spotting Yi Nan, the beasts were momentarily taken aback, as they had not anticipated encountering a human within the confines of the demon-suppressing stone bell. "Human, come here and let us feast upon you," they sneered, their expressions betraying a sense of superiority. To them, it seemed likely that Yi Nan had inadvertently wandered into the bell, where entering was akin to forfeiting one's life. Yi Nan gazed at the 3 master-level beasts without a flicker of emotion, as though he had not heard their taunts. The beasts, witnessing his unwavering demeanor, were momentarily stunned by his lack of fear or flight. "Human, you." Before they could finish their sentence, Yi Nan had already raised his fist, a brilliant golden light coalescing around it, illuminating the dark hall with a radiant glow. Enveloped in this golden aura, Yi Nan's stature appeared remarkably imposing, as if a deity had descended. The 3 master-level beasts were struck with astonishment. They recognized that this golden energy signified a human master. Suddenly, several golden serpents erupted from Yi Nan's body, coiling around him. The beasts counted 6 golden serpents, an unmistakable sign of a 6th-tier master. The revelation of Yi Nan's prowess hit them like a thunderclap, leaving them utterly shocked. Before they could regain their composure, the 6 golden serpents surged forth toward the beasts. The sight of the approaching serpents rendered them paralyzed with fear. With a resounding crash, the 6 golden serpents struck the bodies of the 3 master-level beasts, resulting in their instant demise. Yi Nan reclaimed the fallen beasts, acquiring 1. 2 million elemental stones, 3 million cultivation talent stones, and 3 million extraordinary ability stones. His face gleamed with satisfaction as he merged the rewards and continued onward. As he advanced, he sensed the lingering aura of death from numerous beasts. Many had perished here. It was not surprising that some had succumbed during their prolonged confinement within the demon-suppressing stone bell. Yi Nan sighed, pondering why these beasts could not have waited for him to arrive before meeting their end. Deeper within the bell, the scent of death from such beasts only intensified. Did the demon-suppressing stone bell contain only these fierce beasts? If that were the case, the significance of the demon-suppressing stone bell would be diminished. Reluctantly, Yi Nan ventured deeper. After several hours, he had only managed to retrieve a few first-grade master-level fierce beasts. Although the rewards for his efforts were commendable, they did not facilitate his breakthrough. It seemed that it was time to exit. Yi Nan shook his head in resignation. However, it was not entirely disheartening. Even though the fierce beasts within the demon-suppressing stone bell had not enabled him to achieve the 7th-grade master level, he was now closer to that goal than ever before. Just as he prepared to step away, a terrifying voice echoed in his ears. "Human, do you intend to leave the demon-suppressing stone bell so peacefully?" Yi Nan halted his steps, turning towards the source of the voice, where a fierce beast had materialized on his right. This creature, resembling a humanoid beast, bore 2 horns and exhibited a perfectly sculpted physique, exuding an aura of ultimate strength. The information flashed before Yi Nan's eyes. The azure steel shadow bull, an 8th-grade master-level fierce beast, imbued with extraordinary powers. The gravity of facing an 8th-grade master-level beast weighed heavily on Yi Nan's countenance. As a 6th-grade master, he knew he must regard it with due respect. Yet, he did not fear the azure steel shadow bull. With the heavenly dragon sacred art now reaching the 9th level, granting him combat prowess of 9 million. He felt confident in his ability to confront this foe. "Human, I admire your courage in daring to enter the demon-suppressing stone bell alone. But now everything comes to an end." The azure steel shadow bull sneered coldly at Yi Nan before raising its massive fist, dark magical energy swirling ominously around it. With a thunderous roar, the bull launched its fist towards Yi Nan. As an 8th-grade master-level beast, the azure steel shadow bull was not devoid of intelligence. It recognized Yi Nan as a formidable human warrior and thus spared no effort in its assault. In response, Yinan had no intention of engaging in a prolonged battle. At the moment the bull struck, he raised both fists. Heavenly Dragon's sacred art. With this invocation, the power of 90 dragons surged from his fists, colliding forcefully with the approaching dark magical energy. Boom. The clash between the 90 dragon forces and the dark magical energy sent tremors through the earth.